or you look for the long off the 41 level, which is only setting up just now.
All right, we can't talk about our winners without discussing when we get run over a little bit there. Alibaba, we'll try it again now, but it just broke that pre-market high, so we got out and, like, you know, not averaging in, just respecting some of the levels that we had marked down there on Alibaba. So there, oops, that's still, oh, what? My chart is PayPal, but this is Alibaba. Okay, so anyways, out of Alibaba there. What I wanted to look at, we're back into Alibaba, just at 37, giving it to that high of 60 that was just made there. Hold on, let me just refresh this so you can see. Yeah, so again, took some out. We talked about it being strong there into that move. And there's the break of the pre-market high right there. 30s, so that's where we got out, but then it stopped at 50. Let's see if it pulls back down a little bit. And again, we should have averaged more into Apple, but I was more focused on, there's NVIDIA, by the way. That's come back in. The NASDAQ went to the highs again of its range and then faded back out. So that's what made me put the Alibaba short back on. Could possibly not work, that is for damn sure. But there goes NVIDIA, like, I don't know, makes a high, NVIDIA rips right back up to that level and then comes right back in again. So we will take that. That's 250 in the money there on NVIDIA. So that's gonna turn out to be a decent opportunity for us one more time. And here comes PayPal. So this is what I wanted to discuss a little bit. Would love for this market, obviously, to go to the downside as we have more on the downside. But kind of barcoded there on PayPal. I don't know what day is going to be the day that this goes back up. It's probably not going to be today, but we are near some of these bottoms of PayPal. I would like to see if it can go, especially if this market can get going. But then again, like, we're short NVIDIA now, $3 in the money. We're short 50 cents in the money on Apple, and we're back into Baba. I don't know if we're going to be cheering for the market one way or the other right now, because if the market goes up, we know PayPal is a good stock. We're long right now at 02s, so we're long right here. I was really just going to give this into basically down here 70s, like right where VWAP is. I do like this. Since it's broken up, we don't have to wait for VWAP anymore. We can put some more bids right now at 59.80, but I think this is worth holding at least for these levels. Yesterday, before we took down 60, remember we were long. I don't want to be double out of this one. We got long here yesterday off that bottom of 59.80, but then when it broke, we got out, right? And so we don't need this to break again. That bottom was 59.30. I don't know if it has a dollar in it or not, but right there, PayPal tried to break through 60.20, didn't happen. My target for this out is like $60.70, so like about 70 cents worth of a trade here for it. But I don't know, man, Apple's really going to the downside now. As is, and by the way, NVIDIA right now is almost $4 in the money and going lower. And here goes Apple sucks because you can't see it, but there's the Apple wick higher right there. I was waiting at 40s, it went to 33. Apple coming all the way back in. This is a good bid spot here for Apple. We'll take some 91s, yes sir. Spin it on Apple. But right now, the problem is not NVIDIA, as that's going down. The problem is PayPal. So, all right, let's just wait for 59.80 here on PayPal to average in on this one.
So I'm back into JD. It did get to that lower high. So it got up here to the pre-market levels. Well, sorry, I shouldn't say pre-market levels. That's like 6:30 in the morning. So for most of you, that doesn't even matter. But if you look at the afternoon yesterday, this was support at 35.8. It closed at 36. And then if you were really early this morning, it broke down at that same price. So it's not really a big pre-market level or anything. But once it got there, I was looking for confirmation of weakness, hold a consolidation, make a run at that high, fail the high, get in the short, give to the high, and then work it back down. Now, I think an out in front of 34.50 makes sense. This is where the resistance had turned into support, and then back into resistance, and then a breakout. So if it gets down into VWAP, I want 1-to-1, then I want out in front of 35, then I want 34.50. Those are the targets. That's a setup I like. I've only played the shorts at these key levels. I'm going to continue doing that. Intel continues to flush to the downside. Relative weakness again. As the market's making highs, Intel was making lower highs. So the trend was pretty solid here on Intel. It just broke the low of the day. We got 34.10 as this one continues to flush. The news actually, so nobody expected the Tower Semi deal to go through because it was certainly priced. It was nowhere near where the deal price was and was only going down. But they did have a very niche market that Intel could have gotten into with that acquisition going through. So it's not as if it was it's not a horribly bad thing for Intel, but it is a slight negative for them. The breakup fee was very minimal, so that wasn't much of a hit, priced over the fact that it was never going to get Chinese approval. This is another thing. with what's going on between the US and China, you got to watch out, because any deal that requires the Chinese authorities to approve it to get done, you might not want to be as optimistic about it as you would have like 3 or 4 years ago. And the market had been telling you this for that tower semi deal for a while. Now 34, this is where it's getting to now, is a 50 period on the daily. I want to respect that. So I'm going to get another bid out there and have basically nothing if it gets to 34 even. And if it wants to break that, fair enough. I think that's a separate trade. It's been holding and hugging that 50 period on the daily. So it's not to say that it can't get through it, but if I see it do that, I'm going to have a target out if I like that short, and that's where it's going to be. So we do have this one to the downside. I see DWAC is moving, going higher than GameStop. So let's go over to Brendan for Money Talks and come back and see what's going up with DWAC.
Had data from the UK or Bank of England coming out early on this morning. Still seeing very, very high inflation in the UK, 6.9% in their latest reading. In fact, on CPI coming out this morning. So they're talking more interest rates still needed over in England as far as getting inflation under control there. The pound back to the upside as a result. The dollar back to the upside this morning as well. That is a one-day chart. We did test below 103 early on, right back through to almost 103.4 right now for the DXY, as this V bottom on the daily chart continues to form up nicely. If we get above that 103.5, 104.5, possibly the next stop back to the upside, as Frank Caberna was saying yesterday. Not much going to stand in its way in the immediate future here, guys, for the dollar.
No, it's on a tear. When some things, when they trend, right? You don't want to ignore it. You're not really seeing the same level of, hey, the dollar goes up, we automatically go down. But we are grinding to the downside in the market if you look at the last few days. I know sometimes we'll be rallying when the market opens up, but if you look at the trend, it has been to the downside. So here's the thing with DWAC. I'm not saying it's not moving, because this is what the chart looks like. Anybody will look at this chart and say, that's great on DWAC. Breaks out at 17, heading toward 18. You pop up the daily chart here on DWAC, 18's a good level. You could break out 18 and get to 20. If we can come to my chart for a second. So you could break out 18. No worries. So you could break 18 and maybe get to 20. I know that setup looks fantastic. Here's the problem why I would not touch this with a 10-foot pole to the long side. It's done 200,000 in volume. It's got a consistent 10-cent spread. As you can very plainly see, most of the liquidity that you can see in here, I'd say like 80% of it is probably not going to be there if you go to hit the level. I think that's rather obvious just from looking at it and then looking at the tape. So you need that to be there if you're going to take a breakout trade, if something's going to really squeeze to the upside. And I'm not really seeing that on DWAC. So it doesn't mean an automatic fade either, because I don't know how you manage risk when the stock is on 200,000 shares. If a trade isn't scalable, don't practice doing it because you want to practice how you play. Kobe Bryant always said that. He seemed to know what he was talking about. So look, DWAC, great move to the upside. I would not be chasing this. I won't even pay for shorts. If it gets to 1 million shares and starts getting better liquidity, that's when it becomes a better day trade for something like this. JD was the newest entry for me just now. Looked like it was going to pull down with the rest of the market. Now it's just slowing down here. So still stair-stepping in. But what I want to have happen is for it to flush this level, get down into VWAP, and get back to where it was at the open. Big recovery in some of these Chinese ADRs. Speaking of which, none better than, well, I shouldn't say none better than. NEO had a pretty decent one as well. I actually said under my breath, I don't think you guys caught it, that we're 1 day away from going long NEO at $10, which I'm going to do it. If we get down to $10, I'll be at like 10.01, 10.02, looking to risk 3 or 4 cents. I thought that was happening on a break of 11 today, which is a 50 period, but NEO held on to 11. It's been doing pretty decently at these dollar levels. So maybe I should have respected 11 the way I would have looked for the 10 break, or a 10 hold, I should say.
All right, so we've been taking some more out of Alibaba now that it's 20 cents in the money. You know, lose 20 cents, breaks higher. We just played off that 50 level there, and now it's going back to the downside. So far, so good on that reloaded up their position. Apple did do its dance again. It's going to look ridiculous, but like shorting again and just getting out right here at VWAP every time it falls down. We got an 89 fill, then we got an 80 fill, and that's been the best that we've been able to get. So I am thinking about pushing short more if we can get below this level, but for right now, I feel like we just got to sit up here at 178.50 and see if it breaks that level again. So I am waiting for some more shares and then see if we take out 178.60. If it does make a jaunt to the upside there, we will be all over that one. NVIDIA keeps on bouncing at 440, so check out that level. And in 5 minutes, we're going over to the midday show with Sharif and Max. So I'm sure they'll be talking about a little bit of NVIDIA anyways. 440 has been the drop spot there that it hasn't been able to take out. It took it out once, went down to 338. We thought we were in for a big day there. And when we did have $5 in the money, and right there again, we just had $3 again there, but did not drop out. I'm gonna wait to see if it does drop down on that one. Alibaba, we talked about it. It's just, again, 3 out. These are just each 10%. I'm now waiting for this level to come into play. 80s on Alibaba. Hopefully that will come in. And then PayPal is still right here, right now. It's, what? Oh, I did have a bid at 80, didn't I? Yes, we did. We had a bid at 81. It went down to 83, or else we'd have an average price right here, right now. So, all right. So far so good here. We have to wait for some things to happen. We could check out AMD again, but I'm already short NVIDIA, so I do like that one as well. Sure, yeah, I'll mention it, Fabian. After the close, join us as we will discuss some of the earnings plays. Do we have the earnings board? We haven't gone through that yet, but we will discuss some of the earnings plays today after the close. Thank you for the support as we go. Ooh, one of the oldie but goodies there. Cisco probably won't trade that tomorrow, but it'll be on the board. We'll talk about it. And then, of course, as I said, we probably wouldn't even look at Target. It's now 11 o'clock. Walmart, though, tomorrow. Tapestry, Capri got that buyout, so we can find out.
Billy, maybe.
Yeah, Billy there. Ooh, MSG. We'll have to find out what's going on with that one. Not the food. What MSG is a...
Oh, boy. Well, I mean...
we're talking about Madison Square Gardens.
You know what? I don't have the short flow for Billy. I was just gonna look it up. I was curious what Billy was, but I don't have it on my trade ideas.
Come on, NVIDIA.
That could be one. Off the top of my head, I don't know the short flow, but it is down 1%. There was an imbalance on Cisco yesterday that held to the close. It'll be interesting to see if there was going into earnings. But this has been stair-stepping to the downside. I guess I'm not telling you guys anything. But we like flat bottom breaks. I'm not saying Billy is going to flat bottom break. I'm just saying that if it happens, I like the short.
Okay.
Well, that's 14.5 here underneath 15.
Here goes
you can
Alibaba.
see the trend into the downside. I do like it. Let's respect the trend when you see something like that. Again, it could go to the upside. I have absolutely no idea. But if it breaks that 14.5, just wanted to point it out. I don't know the short float, so you have to watch out for that. We got back in. We've only traded 2 prices on JD. We traded the first one 3 times. We traded this one once. Now looking for that breakdown into VWAP, hopefully, for this name. Speaking of VWAP, I will respect it on forward. It just held above VWAP, so I took some more out there. If it gets back under, I don't know about adding just yet unless it's a break at the low of the day. So we've had 2 good entry points, but it's not really flushing, I think, unless the market flushes. It's not pulling an intel, but it hasn't really gone against us. And Havana Woody says, if abort the short, must go long.
No.
I don't think you... I get the saying, and it's a fun one. I don't think that's necessarily true. Like, you don't have to go long just because you're getting out of a short trade. I think, if the momentum's against you, you certainly want to get out, but it doesn't automatically punch in long, because what can happen is then you're just reversing out of something that you believed at a key level, and maybe it ends up being a revenge trade because you just flip for no reason. You flip because it's like, whatever, I'm just going to join it. If it gives you a good reason, then fine. Like, if I had been shorting Amazon underneath that 37 level, and I saw the same setup in the futures take the high, I'd flip long breaking out 137.40. But that's because of the read on Amazon and not just because it would have stopped working out for me. I understand the sentiment, but I wouldn't automatically go into the long. But I assume you're talking about TTOO anyways.
So I think so. Yeah, Havana Woody always wants those shout outs for TTOO. Okay, I just want to talk about it because Alibaba's now 50 cents in the money. Obviously, we did get stopped out there at 30, but re-engaged it at 37, I guess. So again, just a little bit bad on the stop, but here it comes back in. We've only taken out 40%. We talked about where it's coming down in. I was like, hey, if we can get a 75 or an 80, we'll take that. So let's put a bid one more time, then we'll hold half of it, hopefully, for a little bit of a lower push on that one. But yeah, man, it's 10:59 right now. Thank you so much. I don't know if we've done this yet today.
Like and subscribe today.
Actually, I know we haven't done that, so please hit the like and the subscribe. You know, not for me, but for Kat right there behind us. So there she goes. Yeah, she agrees, right?
Always.
Hold on. Oh, got the thumbs up and the hola there as I throw my pen. Okay. So far, so good, man. It's been a great show. Thank you so much for watching and supporting it. But you got to support this show as well. So make sure you hit the like button, not for us, but for these two guys coming up next. It is Sharif and Max. Thank you, Bears versus Bulls. Thank you to everybody.
Right
and
there.
We do have the Bears.
No, I'm pointing at that. She's got something delicious, but you guys are going to get something tasty. It's I do see them locked and loaded. Max, love the shirt, brother. Go get him. Max and the Profess.
What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to the Midday Show. That's Max wearing his red shirt today, golf shirt, because they're golfing. There's a whole bunch of golf clubs back there.
Oh, yes. Big day on the golf course today. 12 golfers, $10 a man.
Whoa, okay.
I'm paired up with Obi, so good luck to me. I had to wear the Tiger Woods Sunday shirt.
I like it, brother. You're looking sharp. All right, guys, we are brought to you by Search Trader. Account funding of up to $1 million. Keep up to 90% of the profit. Enjoy relaxed trading rules with an 8% max trailing drawdown on all new accounts. Shout out to the folks there at Search Trader. And don't forget the August trading contest here for Surge. 7 days, 12 hours, and 58 minutes, Max, to be very specific. So, yeah, give them a look there, Search Trader. Max and I talking about D-Lo off camera, D-Local earnings winner. And it just keeps pumping to the high side like an INMO. I know you didn't trade it that well. Maybe you don't want to talk about it, but
I'll talk about it.
Let's go.
Well, Sharif, I shorted D-Lo, trading at $13. NASDAQ? Yeah, all right. Trading at $13 yesterday before that earnings leak. Now at almost $24. Can you explain to me why a $10 million earnings beat
I don't know.
makes a stock move like this? I have no idea. 10% short float, maybe the reason, but I don't know. I mean, we've seen so many of these stocks with these short floats that don't do anything. This is like not a great earnings report. No. Maybe there's something in that report that's kind of scaring people out of the short. I have no idea. I figured I was gold on some of these shorts. Like this breakdown right here looked amazing. Luckily, none of them burned me too bad individually, but as a whole, kind of smoked on this name. I had this little one in here that I thought was about to flush back down, but no, this name is not stopping. 25, I would try to short. I think that's like one of those key psychological levels. And then there's 24 on the daily chart, if it'll load up, that I was looking at. It's just maybe too close right now. I'm not sure. 20, yeah. Let's wait till 25, I think, on this one. But 24 is looking pretty pretty decent in here for a potential reversal. We have this reversal right here off 24, almost gets to 25 on this day. So maybe that's what we're seeing. Maybe we're shorting into 25. I'm not sure. I'll take one more shot at this name, and that's it. Imagine Sharif just going long something that's squeezing.
That would have been, well, yeah, I mean, shoulda, coulda, woulda. It is just pumping to the high side here, Max. 23.71 continues to make newer highs as we talk about it. Susquehanna coming out today with a positive note on it, raising their price target to $24. Max just alluding to that level right now. So a nice confluence there between the PT and the price action. Let's go to the screen. D-Local shares are trading higher after the company reported better than expected Q2 financial results. That's what Max was talking about. And reaffirmed its full year 2023 revenue guide.
They didn't even guide better.
I didn't even guide.
I don't understand, Sharif.
Nothing makes sense, Max.
Nothing
my friend, the Katina man, would say the market is rigged. And, well, it is the way it is. But we got some levels to work with there. That 24 level, going to have my eye on that, no question. And we're not that far away from it. 20 pennies removed off the high. 23.80 now, the HOD on this bad boy. I am going to go ahead and put an alert here on my friend D-Lo at 23.99. We'll see how that one
I don't think you have to put the alert in there, Sharif. It's
coming right now.
right now, man.
But I want to talk about this level on the future, Max. You and I also talking about this level off camera. I talked about it in the morning when we looked at the future. Look how many times we were bouncing off this 44.70 area. It takes us back all the way to the 11th. The 14th, we get a couple of touches. We danced with that level yesterday. Finally, we break below it later in the afternoon. We close at 44.54. And then this morning in the pre at around 4:30 a.m., we make that test of that 70 level again, 44.67 and a quarter, the HOD. We're coming back into that level now. What do we get? Do we get support? Do we get resistance here like we encountered support earlier on? Or are we gonna, just kind of dance in between yesterday's close, 44.54, and that 44.70, and just become an inside day and then get cut up and lose all our money? So it's going to be questions to be asked here. One thing I definitely will be looking for are sellers stepping in at that level to overwhelm buyers. You'll be able to see it. We've talked about these quick wicking candles that go through the level that are immediately sold into and that end up closing below. That's the kind of thing we're looking. We're not looking for one or two. We're looking for multiple candles here on the 5-minute chart. So eyes plastered here on the future as we make that move up. This is now the 5-minute on the future, baby.
Bonzi's asking you what the lamb trade is because
hit the Lambo
hungry.
trade. I don't have the animation. You don't have it either.
No, not Lambo, lamb.
The lamb. He means lamb.
No, he said he's getting hungry. He put a lamb in the chat.
Oh my goodness.
Or she. I don't know if.
I think Ponzi's a dude.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Well, shout out to Ponzi. Ponzi, good friend.
Is the
and
lamb
avid
trade
chatter.
the trade that gets slaughtered? I don't know.
That's actually a good observation there. Yeah, I just figured he was talking about
the
the
lamb.
Lambo trade.
I guess like a sheep.
Yeah, I
A
just figured
sheep
it was,
gets
sheep get slaughtered.
slaughtered.
Sadly, they get eaten.
What's the sheep
don't
trade?
tell any of the
I
vegans
guess
that. They get upset.
shorting Dilo all the way up is probably a sheep trade.
Be kind to yourself, bro. Let's talk about some other movers. There's some gappers, let's call them that, on the day. We had this weird stock, JXJT. We'll have a look at that one super quick before we get on to the next one. The other one's a halter. So this is let's go here, 5-minute, JXJT. Trading below VWAP now. Not interesting to me in terms of a long until it gets its rear end above that $2.30 and looks to be testing 2 now. Not interesting to me. WETG. Now, this is a multiple halter. We got to go to the 1-minute. This one is called We Trade Group.
I saw that one earlier, yeah.
Interesting look there on this one. Here we go. Let's just put in the ticker, WETG. This one kind of got going real late. I mean, 10:45, you get the initial spike of volume, and you have a jump from 922 into that halt level at 995, just a smidge below 10. And then lo and behold, baby, we gap up big boy. 1053, the opening price. We get all the way up to 1150, but it's been one cacophony of red candles on the way down here on the 1-minute chart. We broke that halt level at 996, that 10 level, and now we are trending down 9 2/3 of where we're at right now. I don't have a trade on this. Didn't even look to see whether shorts were available or how much they cost, but thought we would mention that because, yeah, it's a gapper, baby. But Dilo, back up.
Another earnings name today, Target, doing some interesting things around this 129.5 kind of level. A little bit of bottoming action here, it kind of feels like. I don't know if this one's necessarily pegged to the market because market's at high, Target's kind of trending down. But, we hold this 130 twice, basically, and then give it up. But now we're just kind of trading around it. We keep making these lower lows, but bouncing kind of aggressively off of them. So interesting here, maybe taking 131 back to the upside, trying to get into VWAP on Target. Obviously, great earnings today. Huge move down into earnings. And, we're basically just at the bottom of the range. So can Target, turn around and start to trend back to the upside, back into some of these levels that it was consolidating at like a week ago? Right. I think potentially, yeah, it can. We'll see on this one. I think, I got Target on a chart. I'm not quite sure what I want to do with it. I would have liked to be in on this
I don't even know why it's up.
kind of 129.50 hold here. So if we go back down there and there's some size on the bid, maybe that's something that we can get long off of, as that Dilo is going for 24 now. So we're going to have to pull that one up and see see what this one wants to do at 24. I think waiting for 25 is probably the way to go. For the short, I think the long is not going to happen for me today. I just don't see the I don't see the case for the long, and we're up 53%. So like, I'm not going to do it.
That always makes fun of me. I love it. Jason, though, alerting me to SBGC. I remember you were on this bad boy yesterday. The Gulf IPO, Saks parent Gulf. Down today, Max. Taking it absolutely on the chin. Some left hooks, some right crosses. 76.5% down. Eek. Yeah, we closed out yesterday, Max, right at that $29 range. I mean, we were right at 29. In the aftermarket, we sold off. We kind of 8 p.m. came and we basically closed at 20 bucks. So gave out about $9 in the aftermarket there. We kind of danced with that $20 range in the pre, and then right at that opening bell, we went green to red, baby. 21.90 was the high, and then Hua Dunk City. This one, let's go to the 1 because the 5 is not doing it justice, baby. Look at the amount of red halts on the way down. Don't know how much the shorts cost on P Pro 8 or if they were free, but there we go. First halt level, 1780. Second halt level, 1602. Third, 1250. Fourth, 10 bucks. Fifth, just a smidge below 8, 7 3/4. And now we're kind of still stair-stepping down, still making lows, $6. Shout out to Jason for alerting me to that. Now, let's zoom out a little bit and have a look at yesterday's price action because I wanted to say, dang near that $5 open. Now, we opened up at 441. The first 1 minute candle that we halted, 491. We're almost there, man. We're dancing with 6. And as I say that, I get an alert on the screen. D-Lo just made that $24 high a day. It is absolutely pumping to the high side. Something tells me there's some positioning in this stock. 141 million share float, by the way, Max. Anyway.
Yeah, like it's nothing great. I mean, it's like a $2 billion company, which is now, I guess, a $3 billion company.
Yeah, with the price action today.
Yeah, almost $4 billion market cap now after being just 2.2 at yesterday's close. So
it's an interesting.
Obviously, can't be too stubborn. Market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent.
Certainly.
All that, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, here we go through 24. Not really making any kind of moves off of 24. So maybe this is the reversal price, but consolidation breakout at the highs. We are getting kind of extended off the moving averages. Maybe it's time to pull back. I think I want to see this kind of accelerate super fast into 25, and then you can take that reversal back down.
Yep.
Just see. I mean, if you can imagine in 2 minutes if we're at 25, how high we'll be off of these moving averages, then it's probably due a reversal, but kind of failing 24 for now. So let's see. It keeps doing this action. Oh, losing the mic. The shirt's too weak.
Man down. Yeah, we'll get to that. No worries. Yeah, we'll get the mic taken care of. Don't worry, guys. All right, Dan Emmons, can't forget Microsoft. High a day, Sharif. Let me pull up the big boy tech chart over here. Let's see what we got. I need to move this up here, and that was a lot better.
Should be good.
Yeah, man. Microsoft, guys, we just touched 324. Microsoft, a bit of a counter trend move here.
Don't forget how strong that 325 was as a reversal yesterday.
325 on Microsoft?
Yeah, yesterday Sean had that banger short. I was looking to potentially take the long break if the market wanted to break out, which I thought it looked like it wanted to, but no. Sean had the trade there on the double or triple or quadruple top or whatever it was.
Yeah, I see that there, yeah.
So, I mean, is that a breakout price if the market wants to go? I would say yes. Does the market want to go? I'm going to say no because we have those FOMC minutes later today, and it's the market, and it's the summer market. So, probably we don't have the juice to make some huge move to the upside today. But, if on those FOMC minutes we are rallying, that could be something to the north side there as a breakout price. I'll throw that one down.
Yeah.
On my notes. On that SPGC, I left yesterday after the show. I had to sign my dad out of a medical appointment.
Oh. hope he's
Nothing
good.
crazy.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
like a standard thing, but
Good.
for some reason they don't let you leave, even though they didn't like.
Sedation?
No.
Possibly? No?
No, I don't know. Anyway, whatever. It was only a block away.
That's cool.
Come back. SPGC is halted up at 11.60. It opens up at like $13, and I wanted the 10 break into the 11 break for that halt, and ends up going to what was it, 27 or whatever.
Some odd, yeah. I got it right here, yeah.
Yeah, that was an expensive walk. I'm owed something out of that one for sure.
That's the way it is, man. I mean, like, look at that top wick there, 32 and change. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that was after hours.
All right.
It halted with like 3 minutes left, and then as they do, open right at 4 o'clock, and then the high of day ended up being that 32 right
Yeah.
after hours.
Okay.
I also tried to take a 25 break right into the close, but 25-cent cross wasn't enough. I guess that makes sense.
This one's still headed down, man. I mean,
Yeah,
it just
that's,
broke. But do we find support at 5? And I think that's what Jason was saying. I mean, that was the level we opened up.
We opened up at 420, I believe.
420.
Yeah.
Oh, love that.
Yeah. Or 480, I think.
We'll have a look. And now, this was a direct listing or an IPO? This was
IPO.
definitely
That was an
an
IPO yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I just want to make sure that we had the opening levels there. All right, definitely going to keep it on my watch here. I also want to talk about IonQ because Max and I talked about this yesterday. IonQ, really interesting mover on the day. Look at this. We'll bring in the side chart over here. Here's a 5-minute. We had a good day on this one yesterday. Got up to 1680. Remember, I danced with this one at VWAP, thinking, yeah, that 16 hold was gonna be a good long. There was all sorts of bamboozlement, as you can see here. It held, popped up, and then quadunk came in. 1588, exactly where we closed out at. We actually gap up open. We gap up higher on the 4 a.m. open, break above 16, but it has been one stair step at a time to the downside. We are talking about a 401, the low. Let's zoom out and find out where the support levels lie. Well, yesterday's support levels they've come and gone. That was at 1475. We held it on the 14th. We held it on the 15th. We don't hold it today. So let's look for more. Second on my support list is 14. Look at that. On the 9th, we get into that 14 level, and then we dip below it on the 10th. But look at the immediate buy up. This is the 15-minute chart on IonQ. So you don't even spend that much time below 14. So we're looking here, possibly 14 might be interesting. If 14 doesn't hold, lowest here, we got to look at 13 or 13 and a quarter. That's the low of the day on the 10th. Shout out to my cousin, that's his birthday. Every time I look at August 10th, I just remember him. But yeah, anyway, so we're interested here for a possible bounce on IonQ. It was an earnings winner, 9%, almost 10% south today, Max, as we break through yesterday's support levels.
Mud in the chat asking if there's any opportunity on Carvana today. As I've said many times, although this is a nice uptrend, I only want Carvana breaking out on the daily chart. So that level is pretty much 42.50, 42.60 at this point. Maybe you can take yesterday's high of like 41.75, but I want this breaking out at daily level. This is a nice reversal. Attempted breakdown there through 38. Low of day 38.90 or 37.90-ish, and then we bounce from there. So that's a great look on the daily chart if that's what you were looking for, that failed breakdown. But I want to see this breaking out on the daily and making new highs and squeezing people out. I don't want to be involved anywhere where people are comfortable. So Apple is collapsing.
Apple's dropping. So is the overall market. Really, look at the NQ now. 15.1 again on the NQ. That's 15.106 is where we closed out yesterday. Again, this is what I want to talk about in the future. Sorry to interrupt, Bex, but look, the level here, this is very range bound, okay? Because the close on the ES, 44.54. So right here, let's put a horizontal trend line to denote that 44.54. And lo and behold, we've been bouncing off that level multiple times. And then the level we talked about, that 44.70, 44.65-ish, that's been the top on the ES. No question about that. So I do not want to be involved whatsoever with the future if we're going to continue to trade in this range. Because remember last week when we were range bound, what happened? And I don't want to repeat it that day. So look at this, up, down, all within that range. Man, that is some summer trading right there, my friend. But anyway, we'll see if we
Sharif,
break.
let's get good at trading ranges.
Dude, I suck in general. Let me just get good trading first, and then we'll talk about ranges.
What if we just we're on here in the middle of the day.
No, man, but
The market likes to range in the middle of the day.
it does, doesn't it?
I think that we need to become expert range traders.
That'd be nice.
That would be good.
The
I don't know how to
algos
do it.
Seem to know how to range trade real well.
Yeah. Maybe just like less size, you give it some space. I don't know.
The Katina man is short NVIDIA at 443. Yeah, he says that's a good range area because he's $2 in the money now. 441.19, 41.14. We know how NVIDIA rolls. It had a good couple of days. I think yesterday it closed red. Did it close red yesterday? Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure it did close red. It had a fantastic day the day prior because of the Morgan Stanley note. But yeah, to build on your point, Max, what I really want, and what I desire, what's that word that Kramer used on Seinfeld? Do you ever yearn? Yearn. There we go. We're using that. Let's go.
Word of the
I
day is
yearn
yearn.
for a breakout or breakdown between the levels that we talked about here and to stay above that level. I don't want to see bamboozlement, but it looks like we're going to stay within the range at least for now on the ES and the NQ. I will have no part in those bad boys if we stay in that level. But Max, did you look at D-Lo?
Yeah, it did wick that 24. It wasn't clean. I don't know. I mean, I gotta see like some kind of extension move out of that stock before I really go crazy trying to short it again. I want like a real banger short that I'm actually, risking something and trying to make something. I don't want to, these kind of ticky-tacky trades.
Yeah. I feel you.
Speaking of ranges, though,
is a nice level. When you showed the half an
It
hour
was,
there,
it was.
I like that. Yeah.
but it wasn't extended enough off
Oh,
of its
look
moving
at that
averages.
flush. There it is, Max.
Yeah. Fair enough. You're risking 20 cents there. That's
There it is.
60
Yeah,
cents in the
someone saw
money. It's okay.
Yeah.
But if you get down to VWAP, that's like 22, 21.50.
We should find support at 23. There was a bit of a 23 top there earlier on. Let's say at around 10.15.
Yeah,
10.20 or
23
so.
was definitely a level earlier. I think taking out 23 could be like a breakdown trade, but I've tried those a number of times on this one today, and they just haven't worked. So
Yeah, I know. I feel
And
you,
look
bro.
at that. I mean, it's not quite doing it, but like it soaks up these dips very aggressively. I think that there is
Interesting.
definitely a buyer on this stock.
A bigger buyer.
There's a big buyer who's maybe offside on this one.
Interesting.
I don't know what the volume is at the moment.
My friend, I will tell you in a
22 million?
second. Yeah, 22 million on the dot, actually. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, if there's 12 million shares short or 13 million shares short, probably not that easy to cover on the day. Anyway, on the range perspective, AMD, which does like to range in the middle of the day and then reverse, is putting in a nice range here between 108.80 and 107.80, let's call it. I'd like to see this attempt to get back through 107.80 and maybe double bottom here on 107.60 and then try to get it back into VWAP. I always love it when AMD is doing this because I find that it does like to bounce in the middle of the day. I've had success quite a few times on this particular name, taking it at the lows in the middle of the day. So AMD's on a chart for me for sure. I want it to get down into here though. I don't want to be paying up like 108s and trying to get 108.60 when my risk is 40 cents and my reward is only 60 cents. I want to get real tight on the risk, down here at 60s, maybe 10 cents of risk, and then reversing it for almost $1 on that one.
Let me talk a little bit about Coinbase. Very important levels I have to note here. Now, they got a catalyst. We'll talk about that in a second. But look, the price action, the 14th, 79 comes in, bought up. Yesterday, the 15th, 79, essentially where we end up closing out at 8 o'clock. We end up closing out there. In fact, that's the actual close on Coinbase, the official 4 p.m. close. I was about to say some weird word. And there we go. 79 on the dot, low of day. All of a sudden, we're 40. No, I'm not in it, but whoever took that $79, the Katina man is in it. Lo and behold, are you long? Long off 79. The Katina man is long off 79. There it is, bouncing 25, 40 pennies in the money. This is a key level. This is a key level. It's a multi-day level. Now, it's selling off, fine, but it has a positive catalyst. They are gonna be allowed to offer future contracts for both Bitcoin and Ethereum on their exchange. Not that that wasn't already available, because BITO is an equity of the future of Bitcoin. So this is an actual futures contract now, right? The National Futures Association, the NFA, giving the green light after having waited 2 years. Yes, the application went in September 21st, September 20th, 2021. Not a minute too soon, NFA there. And we know that Coinbase engaged in a legal battle with the SEC essentially for their existence at this point, because they want them to take everything off except for BTC. So calling them unregistered securities. So there we go. We have an interesting level here on Bitcoin. Now Coinbase. So I'm gonna have to pop this bad boy up here, Max, because this is an interesting level. The Katina man is already long. What's the look here? So if I get in here, I'm gonna have to give it to 70. I'm 79. There's no way, no two bones about it. Now I have to realize that this is a counter trend trade. It is down. Well, it's flat on the day now, but this is obviously a downtrend going from 83.5 essentially, now breaking down to that $79 level. That's $4 to the south side there. So I don't know what to do here. I think that I really need some confirmation. I don't know how you feel about that. I know Max is looking at Microsoft, so I'll send it over to him.
Yeah, Coinbase, I don't know. I thought maybe you could get the long today off that one, but clearly, I don't know, kind of giving it all up.
It's a tricky one.
Yeah, people in the chat talking a lot about Microsoft. Just broke that 324 level, gets to 50s, and now kind of reversing off of it, interestingly enough. I figured we could reverse off of 325, so I was kind of waiting for that to potentially take a short on Microsoft. Renata says, was there news on Microsoft? I am thinking the same thing. Why are we up so much today? Well, not so much. I mean, 1%, but you know, market not particularly strong today, and Microsoft not really having an individual catalyst on this one. All I'm seeing is
I don't see anything from Microsoft.
maybe they reported something about their LinkedIn earnings, but I think that could just be a. I don't know. I don't think they reported anything. So whatever. Microsoft just independently strong. Really liking that 325 level. I don't know. I mean, I like the short off 325. Now that we just reversed off 324.5, I don't necessarily like that short off of off 325. So maybe just try to join the trend here. I mean, basically you're looking at, I don't know, you're basically at the trend right now. If you drew a trend line on the day, right at that 50-period moving average at 323.5. Maybe you're looking for 323 to hold somehow, or just waiting for VWAP, which has been supportive all day. I think that the market is unlikely to kind of trend down today. I think that we don't have like a big move in the market today. Maybe I'm wrong on that one, but I feel like we're just going to chop around until these FOMC minutes come out, even though they're not that big of a deal, I don't think. You know, traders are waiting for any kind of news, especially to do with what the Fed is planning on doing in the next couple months and years. So
I just want to see.
I don't think that there's going to be a lot of money positioning right now. So I feel like bounce, which is why I'm still looking at AMD.
Yeah. Well, what I really want from the Fed minutes is I want to see if they're going to tip their hand at all about how long they are thinking rates need to stay higher. Because now we really don't have much of a discussion in terms of rate hikes. It's going to be one more, if that. Now, there's a 33% chance we get one in, I believe, November or December. I forget which one. Essentially, by the end of the year, about a third of a percent, or 33% chance that we get another hike. So we're only talking about 25 more bips here. The question is going to be, how long do we stay at this 4.5-ish range? I think that that's where reasonable people can disagree, and that's what I really want to see them throw more color onto. Like, as the analyst on the calls like to say, can you give me more color on this? Can you give me more color? They seem to love that little term, eh? Give me more color on that. Anyway, so by the way here, we're eyes fixated on coin as we do the dance with no pants with 79 here. And I want to see confirmation that 79 is going to hold. And right now, all the dips south of that 79.10, 79 teens are getting bought up for now. So I want to see what is going to resolve. We know this to be a key level, a multi-day level. That makes it more important. The more touches, the more important in my books. So here we go. Eyes fixated on coin, looking for that indication that we're going to hold this level. Now, it may get away from us here. Coin is kind of known to move here, Max. What's the short float on this bad boy?
It was 20% at one point.
The Katina man says 15, and it is 14.47, essentially 15. It's not negligible. It's not the biggest I've seen by any stretch of the imagination there, but we're going to keep here looking at coin because I'm not in any trades, nor have I gotten into any. I'm not really willing to jump into anything rando. But as I say that, I look at D-Lo, Max, and I shake my head because that's $1, almost $2 in the money off. But no, sorry, $1 in the money. 24.22 HOD, 23 incoming here, possibly on our friend D-Lo. Still up 50% on the day.
I think on that one, you probably look for that 23 to hold, whether that's by getting into 22.80 and holding from there, or just holding on the bid. AMD, I feel like I might have missed that little scalp trade. Gets below 108, gets right back above, prints 20s. Now I guess we're trending back into it. Where does the market go from here? We are kind of breaking the trend on NASDAQ, but we've done that before today and then just bounced straight from there. So I don't know. I'm not gonna get into AMD here. I'll get in if we're kind of fail breaking these 107.80s in there. Also, where did Microsoft go? So Microsoft is at 323. So nice reversal there on Microsoft. If you kind of had the idea, why is this thing up more than the market? Let me short this fail break. You short 324, you're getting 323 with, maybe 50 cents of risk. I don't know that you need to hold it all the way back up to the top in that scenario. Maybe you do. But yeah, that's a decent little opportunity there. Let's see if VWAP holds 322.55. If you're looking for a bounce, you want to look for the stronger names, and Microsoft would definitely be categorized as that. And speaking of the stronger names, where is our friend Apple at the moment? I really wanted this 176.50 price this morning. It didn't get there, but like 177, you can just go long there. You got
look how many
15 cents of risk.
Uncle Warren's buying
and it
here.
goes,
I know it.
It goes $1.50.
Uncle Warren's buying. No, we're kidding, guys, when we say that kind of stuff. Like, we don't
Well,
know,
you never
obviously.
know.
Yeah, he may or may not be. But what I know for a fact is that the daily chart reflects a level of support on our friend Apple. And yes, it is my friend because I am now officially, Max, invested in this name, much to my current chagrin, but we'll see how this ends up happening. Look at this.
You are invested in this as of today?
Oh, no. I've been in a while now, going on 2 weeks, trying to get this buy.
Oh,
Look
and
at
then
this,
you wanted
Max.
the 175 dip to add to
I
it.
didn't get the 75,
yeah.
so I added yesterday on the dip in the low 77s. But here, I mean, this could be a flat bottom break, except it's not a small cap gapper, right? We know that there's a lot of institutions that are buying hand over fist in this name this entire year because it broke all-time highs. We know that. We know that for a fact. Now, does this level here give me comfort or give me stress? The fact that we are basing out at this 177 on what can unquestionably be called as bad earnings. They missed. They missed on handsets. The only saving grace for Apple was services was up markedly. I think 50-something% year over year. Services includes Apple Plus, the television. It includes Apple Music. Anything that you have to pay recurring, what do you call it? Not recurring revenue. Any recurring subscriptions, that's a service, and that's what seems to be doing well for them at the moment. We know September is their month. That's when they drop all the new gizmos. We're going to see about how many iPhones I think they're going to have this year, like 5. They're apparently going back to their SE model. Max and I talking about that yesterday. So We'll see how that transpires, but definitely that 177 seems to be interesting on Apple. All right, IonQ, we're holding 14 here. I'm in a position, small position, trying to hold 14. The out is the break of the trough, which means a 1390 break. It's 10 pennies. I know I'm going against the trend here, but 14 seems to be an interesting multi-day level. We'll take this one and we'll find out what happens. 10 penny risk, not so bad. Also, Coinbase is 79, still holding for now. Let's see how it does.
Renato was talking about a Tesla double bottom. I did kind of miss that. I don't necessarily like buying into this trend down. I mean, we are down pretty nicely off the highs. I did try to short 233. I wanted to get back in here on a 234 fail break, but it didn't quite get there, and I didn't have the, I don't know, the aggressiveness to punch below this 234 level that I thought we would kind of fly through and then smash back down. But you know, if you are looking for a reversal level, we're basically at the opening price. What's the opening price on this one? 228. So yeah, we basically get to the opening price on Tesla. I don't know, wick down below. A little bit of consolidation, a little bit of a wick lower. Yeah, 228, 2033. So that was legit. And now we're pushing up a little bit. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for things for a market bounce, maybe this makes sense. It's just particularly weak, especially lately, relative to some of the other names. So, I have in my notes this morning, I'm either going short on Tesla at 233 or I'm going long at 223, and I'm not really doing anything else. Except apparently a short at 232. I don't even remember doing that. That must have been a small one. But yeah, in the middle of the range, I don't know if I love it. I think there's some more downside in Tesla. You look at the daily chart and, as sad as it is, because I love when Tesla's going up, we really don't have any levels until we get back down into like 215. 223 was a level back here. Oh, that's 232. Where's that 223 level? Somewhere in here. Is that 223? No, I don't know where it is, but I have it on my other platform for sure. 223 was where I wanted to test. I think we're probably getting into 215, maybe 210 the next couple of weeks before we get some kind of good news out of Tesla and we start moving back up again. Looking really bearish right now. Can't really sustain any kind of up move in the last couple of weeks. Look at the 30-minute chart. This is pretty nasty. I guess just looking at this 50 period on the 30-minute, you could just get short of off that the last couple of days. I don't know if anybody uses that metric there, but yeah, nasty move on Tesla. If we get to the pre-market lows at 227, and then we're fail breaking that and moving back up, that makes more sense for a long for me. But yeah, we'll see. See off of that one. That D-Lo is still holding $23. I said I wasn't going to go long.
Sure.
And I'm still not going to go long. But if we were to wick below at 22.80 and then right back through 23, I feel like that could be a decent long back up to the high of day into 24 perfect. Right now.
I just got into this IonQ position for a test. I'm going to get out of it quickly, just to make sure the position board was working. As I say that, though, VFS is making a move here. VFS is making a series of higher lows, and this flat top, it's a bit of a wedge, an upward wedge that usually resolves in the direction of the trend, even though we are 19% down. Look at this move here on VFS. This $30 level has been hard to break all day. We just printed at 30.32. There's volume to support the move. Neil says, look at level 2. Let me just look at the level. I don't have it up. I got to pull it up. What did you say? There's 100,000 shares at 30.50. Yes, I see it. There it is. It's big boy size on the level 2. Look at the book right there.
And at 32 as well. There's 1,500 lots.
30.50. This is really, and here we go, Max, accumulating. We're definitely breaking out. There's no question about that. But there is big size. Right
is this
there.
A breakout price?
Yeah, well, look, to be honest with you, $30 was the multiple rejections off $30. $9.55 rejection, 10 o'clock, 10.05. Then again, you get back up there, 10.40. And then finally, we break through that level. Here we go. We're a couple of shekels south of the 50 level here. Let's see how this resolves. There is a size. Here we
There's
go.
two more.
And there's more size at 31. Look at 31, bro. Jeez.
Yeah, I was potentially going to take that breakout, but there's size at 31, and there was size 1,500 lots at 32 as well. So interesting action on this one for sure. I think you take that offer out. If there wasn't that offer at 31 right away, I mean, that would look like a pretty awesome potential breakout. That's like high of day. We have this consolidation down. We get down to the prices that we were at yesterday afternoon that I was actually short into right here, make a higher low, and now pushing into pre-market lows. I mean, it looks pretty good for a breakout. It's just
terrifying.
you know that there's 3,500 lots that are trying to sell, which is 350,000 shares.
sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
yeah, what's the volume's only 2 million on the day.
Yeah, people talking in the chat about being overvalued. I could not agree more.
Yeah,
we
I
were
mean, of
making
course.
all sorts of fun of this stock in the morning. They're big rejection right now. Valued more than Ford, BMW, GM, all Volkswagen. It makes no sense. But the market doesn't have to make sense. We trade the price action, right? And by the way, the outstanding shares here only account for 1% of the company. The owner, the Vietnamese billionaire, he owns 99% of it. So make of that what you will. We're not trading fundamentals here, guys. There's nothing fundamentally correct about the price of VFS right now. I just want to put that out there. This is a day trading show. We trade price action. So with that having said, now we look at that 30-50 for the break. Big boy size there. I submit to you that there's more big boy size at 31, even bigger. The Katina man, what are you spinning over there? What's going on? He likes what I said, I submit to you. Yeah, so here we go. Bro, it comes out, Max. Say that again. Sean is short VFS at $30.40. He's secured shorts. We know that they're pricey. Good for him. Here we go. Here we go. Let's find out what's going to happen here. The spread, surprise, surprise, Max, 30 pennies.
I took my first long on the day on this on this DLO.
Yep.
We did exactly what I said we might do. So
boy.
yeah, we're long. Let's see if we can get back to high of day on this one. I'm long 23.15. Wish I was long 23 even. Whatever. Looking for this kind of downtrend to break and then get through to 24, and then I'll short it at 25, or maybe add there. Who knows what happens? But finally have a long on this probably strongest stock in the market today. We'll see if this one can actually work out. The shorts did not.
Likewise.
I guess you don't want to be schlonging and losing on both sides, but we'll see. We'll see on this one. It looks like we're
Good job,
definitely
Katina,
bidding
man.
up off of this 23 level.
The Katina man is celebrating his long on coin because, where are you long again? 79.20. He's got a better price than me. I'm long 37s. Here we go. We're going to wet our beak at 60s. I've got a resting orders because old man can't hang. Let's see if we get that continuation. We're coming into the 50 period on the one. The spread is not to my liking here on Coinbase, especially the fact that it is very liquid. On the day, a lot of orange showing up on my tape over the bid, over the ask, excuse me. So we'll see if we get the fill there. But beautiful move there. Good trade, Sean. On Coinbase, a 79 hold intact. It's a 3-day level, guys. It's not out of nowhere. All right, there we go. 75 showing up now on my book. We're going to hang out at 85s because what's life without whimsy?
What is life without whimsy?
Right? Let's see if we get that continuation. Otherwise, the stop, it's very simple. It's below the 79, okay? Now, it's not immediately below the 79 because we got to give it some breathing room. It is a very volatile name with a wide spread. So you're going to have to give this one some room. Good trade on that D-Low, Max. I see it pumping up into 23.50.
Yeah, starting to move here on D-Low. That 23.50 was a high, or 23.40 was a high before. Kind of dancing around that price, looking for 60s to break. Don't want this to go back below 23 particularly. So we'll see. Although if we just hold that 22.80 again, that would actually be pretty decent. So yeah, looking pretty solid on this one. Lots of buying going on. There we are in the 50s again. Reserve on 50. Interesting reserve bid there. People selling into it. It's not breaking. Let's see if we pump higher off of this.
Not bad.
All right, so they break the bid. That happened once before, and then we just got right back up to here. So let's see on this one. Maybe take a
VFS
little
30-50
profit there.
again. Yeah,
30-50
sorry, I just want to let
again?
everybody know. Yeah, no, focus on your trade, but VFS is 30-50 at the moment, 48s, 49s, you get the drift. It's knocking on the door of that level where we know size is hanging out. But look at this. Look at every whole dollar. 33, monster size. 32, monster size. 31, monster size. 30, 50. I submit to you that we may find 50 like size at half dollar as well.
32 and 33 there, too.
Exactly.
This
may
is
not be-
looking more like the size that you would have expected yesterday on the IPO open, or whatever it was, not IPO, but D-SPAC
SPAC,
open.
yeah. Yep.
On every even dollar, you're getting size. Yesterday, there was nothing. Now we have all this size there. So, I mean, if we start breaking those levels, then it could get kind of crazy.
It could get real crazy. We'll see. We will trade the price action, no question about that. But I just want to let you know that VFS is doing that. Here we go again. 30-50 on my ask, showing up 80. Now the size is getting eaten up a little bit here. It was
Are
900.
they slapping that ask?
Oh my God.
Come on, don't tell me there was no innuendo there.
I don't know what you're
I don't know
talking
what
about.
you're talking about, bro. Plausible deniability. I like it. I like it. Good trade, Max. I see D-Lo in the corner of my eye there because I'm keeping my eye on it. There we go. Popping up. What's my friend Coinbase doing? A little bit of a retracement here. We wet our beak at 60s. We're hanging out at 85s. We'll see if we get that fill. But right now, a pullback. Definitely looking for that 79 to hold. Keeping my eye on VFS, no question about it. I want to see what this one resolves into. We know the Katina Min is short, and right now, that level is holding out.
Yeah, this weird reserve keeps popping up. It was at 40 and 41, and then goes up to 50-51, back to 40-41, now back to 50-51, breaks again. So this is looking pretty solid, but there's definitely some people selling this D-Lo at the moment. All right, here we go. There's some inverse people trying to get filled. Now we got some bids going. This looks pretty solid. I don't know, the liquidity on this name's pretty brutal. The slippage has been pretty bad when I've been trying to short it. So hopefully that means, you know, we accelerate pretty hard on the long here. I'm going to be looking for 24 to make a decision on this position. If 24 fails, I'll bail. If 24 holds, maybe I add to it into that 25 price that I thought we could get to. Nice double bottom on Tesla, actually.
Oh.
Right there at that 228.20. The market's kind of crashing down though, and Tesla's screaming
Wow, look
right
at the
back
market.
in. Wow.
The ES is at break even. We're a quarter point south now on the NQ. Broke 15.1 like nobody's business. And here we go. 50, oh my goodness. 15.051. Low a day, we're at 15.064. So we're moving quite aggressively here on the future. Let's go back to our coin position. Something tells me the stop may be coming in on this one as the market really turns here. 79 incoming on coin. I got to keep my eyes posted on this one because the market is turning. Now we'll see if 79 holds. If it does, fantastic. Otherwise, that's the end of the trade there. I want to mention quickly though, WETG, wet G. Okay.
Bet G.
Well, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, right. Double top, 1345, the high a day. That was done at around 1121. We got back up to 1333, and then Huadunk goes the dynamite. Here comes 1150, where VWAP is, but that's a nice double top looking so far. If you took that, good on you. But this one, we were talking about it earlier on as a multiple halter. The Katina Min, I guess short NVIDIA still. This one holding right now, that VWAP area, 1150. We'll see if this one ends up holding that level or we're going to break down below 1125. Now, 1125 was definitely a top earlier on. Couldn't break through that level. Finally, you get the eventual break in the halt. And then all the dips into that area, 1125, have been bought up. So right now, it's holding its own. We'll see if it can actually hold VWAP, or that's going to be the end of the trade there. Back to coin. Coin still holding above 79 for now, but for how long? We got a big move down the market. We just got a lower print into 50. Where do we get there? Into almost 55. So we'll see if there's going to be any support around here. Quickly looking at VFS again. Still, that 50 level has not broken. The size is still there, Max.
Yeah, I bailed on this D-Lo. It's not going. kind of flushed off of that attempted breakout there. And I'm so bearish on this name today. It's hard to hold it. If we break through that 24 again, maybe I'll get in long, but I'm going to be thinking short, I think, at the top here. I really wanted an explosive move off of 23. We really didn't get it. I mean, 50 cents is nice, but you know the slippage on this name is like 20 cents. So yeah, just kind of bailing on that. I feel like we can really flush off of this and get like a bigger down move into VWAP. If we hold VWAP off this 22 level that was holding before, I feel like that would be a potential good trade to kind of reverse back up. But yeah, I want to be in at the extremes. And we got the NASDAQ flushing.
Oh, yeah.
As much as this is a smaller cap, it is still a NASDAQ name. So, you know, you don't want to be long at the highs into a flushing market that looks like it wants to get through
new lows?
that
New lows?
15K.
Yeah, new lows. We just made new lows.
New lows on the market. We'll see if we get
Yeah.
the bounce off of this.
On the NQ, not the ES. We made a 15.046. Wow, the NQ is in a full state of Hwadunk right now. A third to the south side here, 0.37 down. I'm flipping between monitor and monitor. I'm sorry. My head's moving like this because, you know, we have the side charts on. Dan saying, do not be long below the IB low. I could not agree more on that. Wait for the buying to come in. And it looks like it's coming in now. Oh, wow. What a pop-up. But we'll see if this holds or not, or there's more bamboozlement. The NQ finding a little bit of support at these lows, but who knows what will happen. Not involved in that in this Coinbase 79 holding for now, but for how long? Still 12, 15 pennies north of that level, the 79 level on coin. D-low I see is Hwadunking here, back into that 23 area. Does 23 hold? We know it did last time around. Sure, the wick got into 23.80s, but look how quickly that was bought up. So this, and we talked about 23, Max pointed out that that was the crest area here where we found resistance. Does former area of resistance become support on this level? It looks good. So far, we'll see what it ends up materializing into. I got to go back to coin because we're like 3 shekels above 79. And there it is, and I'm out of the trade there for a loser on coin. It breaks down below 79. Fail, fail, fail for me, 0 for 1.
Watching AMD here for the potential bounce. It looks like the market is bouncing. AMD doesn't want to quite get to the low yet. So if we see that, I'm going to get long, try to get back up to 108, and then see if we do get a reversal here. Market definitely looks like it's bouncing. I'm not going to hold AMD through the low here, but I'll give it, you know, a couple pennies below this 70 price to see if we can get that kind of double bottom action and then rip back up. Some size just getting filled on the offer there, so looking okay for now, but you know, we are buying a weak stock at the lows here, so have to be cognizant of that fact and not stubborn with this at all. This is supposed to be, you know, a quick reversal trade into this 108.20 and then maybe VWAP if we can get that. I think that, you know, if we go back above 108 here or 107.90, that's where, you know, shorts are going to be definitely feeling it on AMD, but market really looking sketchy around this 15.050 price, and we just put in a decent move towards there, so maybe the bounce is decent, but
ES, by the way, yesterday, it closed below the 50-day for the first time in a long time.
Interesting.
So, you know, make of that what you will, trend traders.
Very interesting.
Yep, the 50 period is important for me, and I think a lot of other technical traders, technicians look at that level. Even fundamental investors, they incorporate elements of technical analysis, no question about that, especially for entries and exits, but not maybe for investment decisions. But yeah, the 50 period got breached yesterday. We were looking for a healthy pullback, and I have to submit to you from like a statistical perspective. Sorry, I say that accidentally. You know, I don't actually think about it. Statistically, look back at September and October of 2022 and 2021. They were not good years. They were not good years. Good months, excuse me. September seems to be, for whatever reason, you could talk about the quarter, or you're ending the Q3 or whatever it is, but there seems to be sell-offs in the market. Some people say it's even tax harvesting, but we usually know tax harvesting as being the end of the year thing, but some people say that other money positions earlier with respect to taking tax losses off the table. In any event,
Interesting.
you only need to look at the chart, the daily, the weekly, whatever you want to look at, to know that September's a weak month. So, and a little bit of October too, no question about that. So we'll keep an eye and see what is going on, as we have interviews going on here right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. All
I
right.
think Max is interesting.
This AMD is probably going to come out in a second here. We print below 69. I will bail, but you know you know what? I can't even say anything nice about this trade. The only thing that's helping would be that the market is kind of looking like a bounce, but AMD ain't bouncing. So we get back above 80, or else I'm gone from this one. Not looking the greatest at the moment. Needs to see some buying above 70 right now. Give it a couple seconds, and we're done. Yeah, AMD coming out there. Probably should have waited for the actual low, but you know, I liked this 80 price as the consolidation level. So we'll see. Maybe we go and wick the low, and we can get back into this one. You know, losing whatever that was, 14 cents on AMD, no big deal when you're looking for whatever that was, 60, 70. But yeah, we'll see. AMD definitely particularly weak on this one, as that D-Lo also kind of wicking the
Yeah, the buying
wicking
again.
the wick.
The buying again, coming in at like just sub
They're
23.
wicking the wick for sure here, Sharif.
Ooh,
This,
interesting. Here, look, Max, 23 is interesting.
yeah, the 2270 price is definitely a price of interest on the day for this name. Yeah, I don't know, a little strange action around here. Definitely didn't want to print above, and then once we do get above, we don't want to go below there.
Here we go again, VFS.
VFS is going again?
Right at 30.50. I mean, I really want to get long this name, man. I feel like
kinda
this is
do,
a
yeah.
flat top breakout if I've ever seen one, but the bamboozlement is fast, it's real, it's furious on this name, and it's also quite spready. 25 pennies at times, sometimes even more. So, you know, hard to manage risk unless I'm going to take baby size. You take baby size, you print baby money. So that's the problem with that right there. But there is a lot. The Katina man is pumped about his NVIDIA short because he's printing on it, and it's a good day for the Katina man. But my eyes fixated here on VFS as we continually knock on the door of that 30.50 level. Now, the size is not getting eaten up, right? I mean, it's still there. It's not 900-ish like it was before. It's 8-something now, but this is a flat top breakout. We know that if it gets through there, it may go. Now, here's the thing. Oftentimes with these, you know, slow floaters, small cap gappers, what we end up seeing is the break of the level, immediate retracement down. What's up? The Katina man is $5 in the money.
That's a banger.
Money. The 443, I said that. Yeah, I say a lot of stuff on the show. Yeah. The Katina man is short 443 on NVDA, so keep your eye on that one. Let me look at NVIDIA here. It's now negative on the day, 0.2%, having done 24.1 million shares. Just a measly 200% though on the year up. But we know that a lot of positioning in this name by big money.
Tesla holding that 228 low as well. So everything's holding for now. I think we got to kind of sit on our hands here and wait for this market to decide whether it's going to bounce or whether we're going to flush. I've been kind of expecting a 15K touch for who knows how long now, a few days. Yeah, since whenever this was, 15? I don't know. I've been expecting this 15K touch.
Look at the
we haven't
flush,
gotten
though.
it since the run up. I think that we touch 15K and then decide where to go from there. So I'm waiting for that. I'm not going to go long on anything for sure. I don't think that shorting at the lows makes any sense either. So I think we got to be hands off unless there's something independently moving like a D-Lo or a VFS, or who knows if there's some small caps that are going. I know TTOO was going, but that one flushed today. Yeah, I was actually looking for the 75 break. Isn't TT? Oh, I need another T here. All right.
LD. Sure, why not?
There we go. There we go. All right, TTOO. I was looking for the 75 breakout here from these pre-market kind of highs. I think these are dark pool wicks, but I would have taken it at 75, looking for it to get into that $1 price and then potential add on the $1 breakout. Obviously, a lot of other people were disappointed when this one absolutely flushed today off the open. When these penny stocks give it up, I mean, the flush down can be pretty epic. And I don't know, just taking maybe a pre-market low break, that wouldn't have really worked. Maybe you just take this consolidation breakdown after the open, kind of opening range breakdown, 60 cents. Yeah, 60 cents gets you down into 40 cents. That's like a 35% or 30% move. That's pretty solid today. But we did rebid. We got right back to that 60. If we break 60 cents later on in the day, maybe we do get that move into 70 and 75. And, I'll be here for that for sure.
I am just dying to punch long into this VFS thing, man. Look how many times we are dancing.
Do you want to take the breakout?
I don't want to take the breakout. I want to front run it, which is kind of my modus operandi, and then I get blown out. That's just the way. Here we go again. Look, I got to tell you, the volume is really not supporting the move up right now. The volume is a little suspect, but the price action, the fact that every time we dip in to the 30 and a third, 30 and a quarter, we're getting bought up.
Yep.
And there is definitely, we know that there's a flat top because 30.50 has not been breached on the day. Well, earlier it got breached, but right now, no. So I don't know. Maybe a dip trade, really, if we to get a better cost basis. So if I get blown out, it's not by that much. Decisions here, but I really do like it.
It's tough on this one because where's your out if you're taking a dip trade? If you're taking the breakout, your out is the breakout failing.
Literally, it has to be 29.
Yeah.
Because really, there's no other support level north of 29, in my opinion.
Yeah, even
Right,
29. I mean, I'm looking at 27 here.
Yeah, like I can't give it $3. That's not $2.50, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, you can't give it that. I think the only way to execute this one would be the breakout, and then your risk is probably 40 cents if it fails.
But the Huadunk comes in fast and furious, right?
It does.
On the breakout. That's the thing for me. I probably have resting orders, to be honest with you, north of that 50. If I was to get in it, I'd want to get out a chunk immediately.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And it should go directly to 31 to test that other size.
Something like that, yeah.
Something just like that. You can see that there's size at 32 now, which keeps appearing and then disappearing. The size at 32 is bigger. It's 1,500 lots. So you got 350,000 shares trying to sell. If they all get filled, then they all get filled and you're short this name, I think you're probably feeling
getting bought up.
Yeah.
Katina Man, are you still short? BFS? The Katina Man is still short. He's short in front of the 50. He's taking the opposite trade of me. The idea here is exactly the opposite of what I'm looking at. I'm looking at a break. He's looking at a rejection. Who knows how it ends up turning out, but real interesting. At least for now, the sellers are winning. The downside is way bigger than he thinks because he's going to risk like 10 pennies or what? How much are you risking? 10 pennies? Yeah, exactly. Here we go. The size at 50 is definitely being reduced. Now, that does not take into consideration, obviously, iceberg orders. Iceberg, for those who don't know and just new traders, are hidden orders. Hidden orders, you should know, go to the back of the line. They don't get filled first, but in exchange, they are hidden from view, meaning you don't really know it's there. Now, there are some ways to be able to tell that there is an iceberg. Mainly, when you don't see size on the book, yet the level doesn't break, is an indication that there's an iceberg. So that's why it's important to have level 2. You have to pay extra for that for most brokerages. Some brokerages don't even offer it. If you're looking at one of those retail programs like Robinhood, does Robinhood even have level 2? I don't even know.
I have no idea.
I don't trade Robinhood. We don't have it in Canada, so we have Wealth Simple.
I think that Wealth Simple does not have level 2.
No, I don't think so either. I've never used it, but anyway, interesting look here on VFS. My eyes really focused on this one.
Yeah, I'm watching that too. I think it makes sense to try to take the breakout. I think if this gets down to like 100 lots, I'm gonna try to punch the
You're gonna
30-50 and hope that it goes right away and takes those 1,000 lot or those 100 lots. But we'll see for sure on this one. Yeah, Nvidia's absolutely tanking off of that.
Wow. Nvidia, low of day. It's continuing to print lows here. 437.40. It continues to head south. We're not seeing that big move south though on the NQ. It's a bit of a base here at 15.050, just a smidge below. We know 15.0 and a third, the LOD on the day. I'm talking about the NQ September contract, and here comes again. Here comes again, baby. That 30.50, the spread tightening up and the size is getting eaten up here. 577. Let's see how this one resolves. More selling coming in. We move a smidge below. The spread widens up. Instead of 2 pennies, it's 15 now. So that gives you an idea about the liquidity issues with this. It tightens up, opens up, tightens up, opens up. Very, very bamboozling. What you do see, though, is a series of higher lows on the name. Think of that what you will. This is the one I'm looking at. Call me crazy, call me nuts, but yeah, I'll keep my eye on this one. Somebody asked earlier, Max, WLDS, and I didn't get a chance to look at it, so let me have a look now. WLDS, wearable devices. What's the float, you ask? Nobody asked, but I'll tell you anyway. One moment. The float, 7.1 million shares. I like it. Low float, dangerous stock, my type of thing. Let's see if a short float here on it. WLDS, wearable devices. Short float, negligible, 1.73%. Not much. The Katina man's out a little bit at 30. Where are you out? At 30s, 437.30s on NVIDIA. WLDS on VFS. VFS, okay, sorry. He took some out in the 30s on VFS. So now, WLDS, interesting here because it's not much of volume today. It's a dollar name. It's only done 855,000 shares, but what you see is a continuous higher low here, which is interesting. Let's go to the half an hour, find out. We have a good day yesterday supported by volume. We did over 4 million shares there in the opening range. Yeah. And we are definitely at the highs yesterday. Now, technically, on the opening range, we got to 148, but that 145, the better level, a couple of rejections subsequent to the opening range on there. If we can break above 145, where do we go? Well, surprise, surprise. The Katina man is $10 in the money. Hit the dollar club, man. Oh, okay.
That's where we're going, because I was taking a look at NVIDIA because I feel like eventually we bounce. Maybe we have to get $10 first, but like 435 maybe, fail breaking there makes sense. But
Who's talking about
I don't
HE?
know.
What is this
I don't
HE
know.
stock everybody's talking about, bro?
Hawaiian Electric.
What is this?
it's getting smoked because they might have started the fire or
goodness
something.
gracious. Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Really? That's them? Class action lawsuit? That quick, eh? Well, I'm not surprised, bro, because I seen destruction on that island. I just came back from Hawaii, guys. I wasn't on Maui, right? I was in Honolulu and Waikiki. But it breaks my heart seeing that kind of stuff, bro. It broke my heart. And like apparently they didn't even have any notice. They were saying that the like emergency management system was absolute trash. Like we got 5-10 minutes worth of notice with respect to a wildfire. Look, we need like at least a few hours here.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't want to say anything mean.
Yeah, I have no idea about any of this, but
that's what I'm hearing, obviously.
How did it? Did the fire just start really close to the city? It must have. I don't know. That's pretty.
All right.
brutal.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
Look at VFS, dude. Cover. You're printing here. 29.50. Thank God I didn't go long, bro. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Look at that flush. Look at that flush. Like a Tina man. Wow. I think we find some support here. No. Wow. Look at the spread opening up. 65 pennies. What's happening here, man? Look at this, dude. Oh my goodness. This is very bamboozling. Okay.
That's the problem with this name.
Not
I was
touching this
shorting it yesterday after I got off the show.
VFS?
Yeah. It would go down, you'd look like you're like banger in the money, and then instantly the spread opens up. And now like, the spread's $1.50. You're like, I don't know where we're going.
Unreal.
You just have to punch out. So,
Unreal.
yeah, but now we're kind of tightening down, moving down. That's a nice trade.
Good trade, Sean.
Out of the boys over there. I don't know if Neil's short too.
He's
Yeah.
the Neil is short as well. Look at the level 2. We've been talking about the level 2. He's asking, why is nobody offering in the 30s?
True.
It doesn't make any sense, he says. Well, it's a good point. There's no question about that. All right, we'll see what this one does, but yeah, it's a mad one. I think I'm going to stay away from this one because clearly, if I had gotten into that one, I would have been off the show. And Apple is headed to the south side. Everything heading south today, guys. 15,000 incoming
that
today.
15K touch
15K is coming in, baby.
incoming. I would say
15K
find a
incoming.
stock to play the bounce. I think 15K bounces at least once before we actually flush through it. But wow, NVIDIA absolutely getting smoked. I'm watching potentially 435, but I mean, we're up so much in the last couple days on NVIDIA. Like maybe we get down to
Low a day on the ES.
432, I think would be kind of a banger reversal trade on NVIDIA.
We're about to print newer lows on the ES. We haven't printed newer lows.
Oh, yeah, there we
since
go.
earlier. Here it comes. The ES 4444. Exactly the low of day today. No, correction. 4443.5 now. Make a long story short, 15,000 incoming. Do we go long at 15,000?
I think we bounce at least once. I don't know how hard we bounce, but I think you could probably find a decent opportunity on a large cap.
Yeah.
Take a bounce off of 15K.
I'd
but
like to see 15K today.
I wouldn't be hanging on to that for any period of time. Like
Holding, yeah,
scalp,
yeah.
bounce $1, take the profit, get
Dan
out.
says no. He said you
No
don't go
bounce.
long 15K.
I don't think you're going long 15K as like a positional trade on the futures. I think if you're talking scalp, yeah, you could probably find something, but we'll see.
$7 in the money on NVIDIA.
Yeah, that's wild. That is a certified banger there on NVIDIA.
Okay. Well, I have nothing on at the moment, and one losing trade on coin. We don't really get smoked. A very small loss. I mean, I haven't been in anything. I mean, obviously, I should have been short whatever and whoever today, but there we go. Covered something on NVIDIA. The Katina man saying, I'm keeping my eye here on 15,000. Like, let's see. Do we get buyers at 15,000? Let's look at the indexes, man. Bring the indexes in here and have a look at where we are macro-wise. Indexes. Let's go to the chart, guys. Here we are. This is the NDX. This is the index. Okay. So now this is a little confusing because it's not the same level as the ES. So this peak over here that we made in March was the high on the ES that we rejected off. I'll show you that, the SPX in a second. But because the NQ has been markedly stronger than the SPX, the NDX has been markedly stronger than the SPX, we almost touched 16,000 there. You'll recall 15.9 and change. So we did break that March high, and we're definitely dancing with that January 2022 high that we made. Nice rejection there. For support, where do we find support? Literally, it's got to be at 14,250. I mean, this is a bit of a top over here. Otherwise, you really have to go to the August high. You'll recall this August high was Jackson Hole when Papa Powell tanked the market. Jackson Hole, by the way, very soon. When is the next one? Jackson Hole. Let's go. When is it? Fed. I'm just looking here, guys. Fed meeting 2023. It is August 24th to 26th, 3 days. We'll see what Papa says at the time. I'm talking about Papa Powell because that's what he did to the market last time. Higher for longer, he said. So we'll keep an eye on that. That's
Maybe this time he does the opposite.
I'd like that, Max, because I'm
Who
long.
wouldn't like that? Who wouldn't like that? Everybody likes a market that's going up.
Yeah.
These
Constantly go up.
choppy downward leading markets are not really the easiest ones to trade. Choppy up is easier. Choppy down, I find to be
Not so much.
a bit harder for sure, because there's less
Oh, by the way,
aggression in those up moves.
29,000 just got breached on our friend Bitcoin.
Were we offline when we were talking about
We
Bitcoin?
were. Max and I were talking about, I'm like, hey, Max, I'm going to get long some Bitcoin. It's
And I
held
said, hey,
29.
Sharif, that sounds like a great idea.
All right, guys, we're kidding. We're kidding here.
We are not kidding.
No, like we're joking about like how we're doing it. But yeah, we're talking about the futures that getting Coinbase getting approval for 2 futures contracts for ETH and Bitcoin. We're talking about the ARK, Fidelity, BlackRock, all waiting for their spot Bitcoin ETFs to get approved. They may have to go to court for that. But anyway, 28,945.75 now, Max, a low day on BTC as things continue to flush, baby. It is a seller's paradise at the moment. There's no question about that. Keeping my eye here, no question about it, at 15,000, looking for a possible dip.
Yeah, like what are we going to take the bounce on is the question. Microsoft at 321. I do like we've been kind of bouncing in that range. 321 up to 325 recently. Pull up the 30-minute. Thank you for these wicks, P Pro 8. Where's yesterday's action? Oh, there we go. All right. 321 is where we base out a couple times yesterday. We base out at 321 a couple times the day before. If we are bouncing at 15K and Microsoft is wicking 321, I think that that makes sense for me. It looks like I may have to log off here because my software just froze. I said something bad about it and it froze.
About Softy?
About P-Pro.
It crashed?
I said.
That's hilarious. Come
It
to
had a
us.
wick.
It's okay. It's all good. That's hilarious. Neil
That
says
is
that's what you get, baby.
That is what I get. I said
That's all
thank you
good.
for this wick, P-Pro, and it crashed on
Like
me.
that, yeah.
Right, just like that. That is hilarious, actually.
That's funny. All right, guys. Neil
It never
sighting.
crashes on my computer back there. Only this computer. And Obi and Prad used to have so much problems with this one.
Well, Luca as well. Luca would fume every time he changed the look from the 1 minute to the 5 to the 15. It tanked on him. Anyway, everything is red. Look at Ion Q. I was talking about a 14 defend on that boy. It's now at 13 and 2/3. So Ion Q continuing to print down. Likewise with Coinbase, that 79 level got breached. It's gone as well. We're just waiting for some support to come in here if we find some support, to be honest. Apple is now flat on the day, 177.46. It's not break even. It's just a smidge above. Microsoft as well, 0.2%. What's all this money? Oh, the Katina man hit it. Oh, he's printing. I was like, what the hell's going on? Let's see what else is moving here. I'm not in any trades, nothing to my liking at the moment. Keeping an eye on my scanner. Nothing moving on the scanners here. We'll keep an eye out. What else is the chat up to? Let's see. Day trader cut. Just because it's consolidating doesn't mean it's time to go long. Wait for confirmation. Sure, absolutely. You need to see the buyers overwhelm sellers. At that point, look for wicks below key levels that keep getting bought up. That's typically what I do. Not doing into anything at the moment. Hanging man, digital warfare, baby. Let's go. Sirdar, do you also experience the sound goes off sometimes? No. Dan Emmons, people catching every knife are always the people that miss the opening range breakout every time. Dangerous to do every day. Couldn't agree more. Sirdar says sound goes off sometimes. I don't know. Do you guys experience that? I mean, if you are, tell us so we can tell the production team to have a look at it. Ralph, we still haven't seen a serious market connection in tech. Good point. 2022. Well, it was a correction year, you know that. But you're talking about 2023, I'm assuming. No, we haven't. And I submit to you, we will. We will. And September's not a good year, a good month for the market in general. Let's see what else is being said here.
We are continuing here, Sharif. That is a
15,011. Low a day on the NQ.
Here we go.
15,000.
Here we
Let's
go.
look for
There's
support.
NVIDIA
I
at
think we find
435.
some support at 15,000. I got to tell you the truth. Just like from a technical sense, 15,000 is going to be on everybody and their mother's cousin's radar.
Their mother's cousin.
Yeah, first cousin too. $9 in the money. The Katina man is very active today. Where are we here on NVIDIA? 434.46. It continues to head south. Yeah, very weak.
Tesla
Very
at
weak.
227 now, breaking that pre-market low. That was the wrong stock. I said Tesla, I typed NVIDIA. Wow. All right, so Tesla wicking 227. Does that help the market? For now, it looks like yes. We just did a little 10-point bounce on the market. I ain't going long into this. Maybe going long back above 228 if the market does actually bounce. NVIDIA as well. We looked at that 435. Even if I wanted to take the 435 fail, it never even came in. It just went directly to 434. Now we're back above 435. So I don't know. Maybe that is the bottom on the market. Maybe that's the touch that we needed. Here we go on the bounce. I would say, you know, to confirm a bounce. I don't even know if you can confirm a bounce on the market at this point. It would have to get back up to like 15.051 to be really any kind of substantial bounce, as ES is just continuing down. Now we sell that
goodness.
pump off. All right, here we go.
Yeah, I'm not punching long here until I see confirmation that the buyers are stepping up, and I want to see a 15,000 touch, no question. I'm not even going to get in at 15,000. Nuh-uh. We need to see a dance here between buyers and sellers. We need to see the buyers overwhelm. We haven't seen that at all today. And whatever stock you're looking at, I mean, we definitely have not seen buyers step up in any measurable amount. Zion Lala, Sharif, can the production team increase levels on their end? We have to put it on full volume. Sure, they're working on it right now. I just spoke with Fabian and Ramin. They're on it. Jay Lee Sharif, SQQ about to break 20, and UVXY is over 18. Absolutely. I'm going to actually just keep my eye on the MNQ. The levels for me on there are the ones that I'm keeping my eye on, but I couldn't agree with you more. You know, I got to tell you, does the tail wag the dog or the dog wag the tail? Is it the future moving the equity, or is it the equity moving the future, or is it the option moving the future? Or, the option moving the equity. I mean, there's so many variables here to consider. You just don't kind of know where to look sometimes. But right now, they all seem to be in harmony because they're all headed south. So we'll keep an eye on that and see what else is going on. I don't have any trades.
Bounce on Apple and a bit of a bounce on Microsoft too. And NVIDIA's back above that 435. So my eyes are on Tesla at this 227 overnight kind of level. Wondering if you can get a quick scalp into 227.5 if it goes over. It's just kind of a sketchy trade that I don't know. I mean, I think that you could get directly to low of day on a failure of that potential bounce. And we haven't actually touched 15,000 yet. We just got down to 15,009, I guess. But maybe that's enough. Maybe that's enough to get the bounce. Here we go on Tesla. I'm not long. But actually looking pretty decent for that potential bounce move. Maybe should have taken that one. I don't know. I mean, we had to go and wick the actual number before bouncing. Oh, that 44.40, was that not a level on ES previously? Let me bring this 60-minute up on the ES. I think 44.40 was a level, if I recall correctly. Maybe it was 44.44.
Yeah, production.
All right. Yeah. It's tough with the soft shirt.
Trust me, bro. I deal with that all the time. Golf shirt blues, polo blues, whatever you want to call it.
Like nice, thick, stiff dress shirts for this.
Oh, goodness. Are people having interesting discussion in the chat here? Like, no, Sharif, it's not the future that moves. It's not the options that move. It's the bond market. Look. I've been hearing a lot about the fight going on between equity hedge funds essentially, and the bond market, and those dealing with treasuries. And apparently, you know, there's a lot of offloading right now by hedge funds of their treasuries. And guess who's buying? The bond people. So we'll see who wins out. Now, the old adage is smart money is in bonds and treasuries, and the less, we won't call it dumb money, but the less intelligent money is in equities. I happen to believe that that's not exactly a fair characterization, but Yeah, definitely. There is something to be said about that. Now let's look at here the what we're doing here on the 2-year, because the 2-year is important. Let's the 2-year, 10-year comparison is important for me anyway. 2-year August continuous contract. Let's look at the daily. I was talking to Brendo about this not that long ago. Look at the highs that we're making. Continue to make highs. We haven't breached that 5% mark quite yet. We got wicked up to 4.9, I believe. Yeah, we got up to 4.955. That was yesterday. We gapped up. We got down lower today. High a day 4.88. We're green on the day, but barely 0.18%. Let's look at the 10-year. 10Y futures contract. I go continuous so we can chart properly. Here we go. Let's see what we've been up to with the 10-year. The 10-year on the day, man, this is so slow, bro. Why do I have to wait like this? It really annoys me. I mean, it's not that hard to load up data on a chart. So we'll wait for a second there as it loads up. So we'll have a look at what else is moving. Yeah, still haven't breached the 15,000 on the NQ, so eyes plastered there. 15,009 is the low of day. Bro, come on. There we go. This morning, Max, we got up to 4.25 yesterday. Right now, we are at day's high on the 10-year. So yes, you know that yields move inversely to bond price. When the bond price goes down, yields have to go up, and typically bonds and equities move in the same direction. Therefore, yields go up when equities go down. And there we go again. Speaking of equities, the future coming back down again, Max, into low a day on the NQ now. 0.2% sell. We got as high as 15,166. We are now 15,008 on the NQ.
Oh yeah, and we are cruising down for sure. I'm looking at NVIDIA. This 435.40 price is interesting. If I don't know, the market hasn't gotten to 15K, which is my problem on this one yet. Right now, like we need to get all the way down there. ES kind of just hanging out at the bottom, looking like actually it's making new lows as the Nasdaq's bouncing a bit. So I think I'm gonna wait, but this 435.40 looking like maybe you get a quick like reversal up to 436.5 off of that one. I just don't want to take that as it does break. Nothing happening yet. Kind of mixed tape above it. Maybe looking like it wants to go. No bids, no size, nothing happening. I think everybody's waiting on the market to see what it wants to do at this 15K. So we wait. If we take out 434, instantly rebid, that's a trade that I can take. And that's a trade that I would normally take. So we'll see on that if we can get that one in for the potential market reversal. And hopefully we are bouncing off of 15K for that one. As far as shorts are concerned, like we're at the lows, we're at like very key market support. You can't really just be going short. I mean, you can do whatever you want.
Sure.
I cannot really do that for my trading rules and strategies, so I will not be doing that. But maybe the market has a 2% down day in it, and we're just missing out, and this is the actual breakdown price. You know, if that's the case, and we're going to trend, some names will give you spots to get back in on the trend on the way down. So we'll wait for that. If this is the bounce and we missed it, such is life. And maybe we got something else in VFS or DLO.
Patina, man. All right, guys. Well, I mean, I don't know if we miss it, Max, because like maybe we wait for confirmation, right? That 15,000 is going to hold.
Yeah.
At least I'm not going to just get in randomly just because it's at 15, especially on a day like today. My goodness. The Katina man is now long AMD, looking for that 15,000 hold. By the way, put that in the chat, so keep your eye on that. I'm not going to get into any trades, quite frankly. I don't like anything, and call me crazy, but I'm not getting into anything at the moment. Max's hair looks fantastic, somebody said there, and I have to agree.
Really? This is not looking so good. I think I need a haircut.
People like it, bro. People like it. You give the people what they want.
Oh, this is reversed. I can't.
Oh
I don't know what I'm doing there.
Hit the Lambo, guys. I don't have it. We need to put the Lambo thing on here. Anyway, keeping my eye on 15,000. we're still hanging on, but we're not printing newer highs. There's no question about that. So we're just not breaking lows. So for me, no longs at the moment. Keeping my eye on what's what. Let me look at ADRs. Oh, okay. ADRs are actually holding up while the rest of the market is huadunking. Because they're the majority of them are actually green after the bell. Not green on the day, green since the bell. I have two columns, change percentage from 4 a.m. and change percentage since open, 9:30. I like to have both and to see what's up. So they're mostly green after multiple day sell-off. Now we know that more data came out of China. Somebody tagged me in the chat earlier and was letting me know about this. Another Chinese, I want to call it real estate developer. I don't remember the name. Missed another bond payment.
Oh yeah, I was gonna take a look at that on the OTC. If that. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, no,
I'm gonna figure
continue
it
your
out.
thought there, because we've heard about that. Remember what were they called? Evergreen. Evergreen. I know that another one missed a payment last year. I forget the name. Tag me in the chat for the correct name. I don't like to have that boo-boo on my record. So let me know. Evergrande. Thank you, Trader CL. Evergrande. They missed a bond payment last year or earlier this year. Lots of stress in the Chinese housing market. Loan demand is markedly down. People are not taking loans. And you saw a surprise rate cut coming from the Chinese central bank to spur demand for loans. We'll see if that has an effect. Some people saying too little, too late. The stimulus should have come in earlier. You know, we saw targeted stimulus by the Chinese government. They tried to stimulate EVs and other things by giving incentives, much in the same way that you get that $7,500 tax credit on the Model Y, but obviously applicable to Chinese EVs. Some people said that was too narrow of a measure. They wanted more broad-based measures for the overall economy. We know the Chinese economy is really, the Katina man mentioning to me this morning, the youth unemployment rate in China continues to really be at historical lows, and that's a problem. We know that they have a population crisis. Contrary to what you may think, they actually are shrinking in size rather than growing, so they need to grow. And there's a whole bunch of macroeconomic situations here that lead to the position we are now. But with respect to the matter at hand, 15,000 still holding, 15,006, a new low though on the NQ.
Yeah, we're really just chopping around there. And I tried to look up that Country Garden. Is what
Country
it's called.
Garden, that's right. That's the one it was.
There was
today.
no
Thank you for
volume
that.
on the pink sheets today, so no opportunity missed there, thankfully. I imagine their Hong Kong listing might have gone a little nuts. I don't have Hong Kong entitlements on this,
Neither do
so I don't know what happened. I guess I could look that up on my other platform here. Wow, AMD off the bottom. Sean, do you have like an uncle or something that's calling you right now, telling you what to do? This is crazy. This guy's just printing on everything. Uncle Boggy is letting Sean know what to do today. Apparently, that's nuts. That's like the biggest green. Where's AMD? You're not in at all? No. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. AMD. That's like the biggest move up on the day on AMD on this one. That's what a banger off that 107 bottom. See, this is exactly what you wanted to see. Double bottom at 107, wicks the low. You get in 107, 01, 02, 05, blast right up 50 cents. That's all you need out of that trade. And then maybe you hold a piece on for the potential reversal back to VWAP. You know, if you're going to say that 15K is going to hold, maybe, you know, we're blasting back off to 15,050 and maybe back to VWAP on the market. And then maybe AMD's at, you know, 108.60, which was my target when I was getting along at 107.80 earlier. So, yeah, great trade there. A lot of interesting bottoms showing up right now. That NVIDIA did end up working out if you went long off of the bottom, but I mean, if you're risking this move at 435.40s all the way down, I guess that's 50 cents. You get $1. That's not great. That's not great. You're not really looking for that. Maybe you're saying, you know, it couldn't break these lows, and then you're long somewhere in the high 434s. That's a better trade for sure, and you're only risking down to 50s there. That's like 40 cents to get $1.50. But yeah, a lot of names making the moves off the bottom. I'm not convinced yet, but maybe the bottom's in right now. We had to go and touch that 15K. You look at a 15-minute chart though on NASDAQ. We haven't even taken out the high yet of that 15.025. So we'll see if we get that continuation later on into the show here and get through that 15,000. You know, bears would say that this is the opportunity to get short for that 15,000 retest. I don't know that I necessarily agree, but I think something like a 437.50 on
Neil, X.
on Nvidia. Is X going?
Yeah, they got another bid. I don't know how to say this name, but here it is. Exclusive. Arsol. Oh man, come on, man. What is this? Arcel or Middle SA discussing possible. Pardon me? Arsol Metal.
Do we know what the price is?
Discussing possible bid for U.S. Steel with financial advisors. Discussing. Okay, no, I'm looking here to see what the price is. No, I don't see anything here with respect to price max.
Okay.
But no doubt about it, X is moving, and we know that they received multiple unsolicited offers from different institutions. I know Cleveland Cliffs was one of them. There was another as well. Here is X, big boy move up from 30.50. You touch 32, and then you come right back down into that 31.5. Interesting look on X. It's now up 3 1/3% on the day. 11.1 million shares of volume done on this bad boy. Do we get a retracement? Is this a short the news type event? I mean, I don't know. I
think unless there was a price attached to it, it's probably a short.
Look at BFS.
I was looking to go long. BFS just cratered through 29 there. So, you know, low volume, massive orders on the ask. Makes a lot more sense to go short than thinking long like Sharif and I. But, you know, that's why Sean and Neil have been in the business for 20 years.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And
we stayed out of it.
We're
Thank
just
God,
minnows over here. Trying to eat the dead skin off of people's feet.
Oh, my goodness. I don't like dead skin. Neil says minnows don't eat dead skin.
What are those like things in the Asian spa treatment where you stick your feet in? Aren't those minnows?
Yeah. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, is that not a minnow? What kind of fish is that? I don't think they're sticking piranhas in there.
They better not. All right, 31 here on X. As quickly as we got up to 32, guys, as quickly as we get down into 31, do we find support now? I submit to you that we have a nice little level earlier on at that 30.70. Multiple rejections off 30.70 before the eventual breakout. Sure, we broke above it in the opening range, but that means less to me than all these rejections here off that 30.75. I correct myself, 30.70, 30.75. That was a level. Pop right back up off 31, right into 31 1/3. Do we hold 31? Was 31 the dip buy? Well, it touched my 7 period here and big boyed right back up. But a lot of volatility, the volume coming in on this one in spades now. Look at the tape go here. I love X. We did very well on X a couple of days ago. And it looks like we missed out a little bit of a trade here off 31 max as it big boys right back up. As I say that, I see D-Lo breaking VWAP, breaking 22 on my side chart. This one is quadunking as well. And as I say that as well, Max, the NQ has found its base. Look at that, 15.032.
Yep. We missed the bottom, Sharif. We missed the bottom.
Missed everything today, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
435. I said 435. I said 435
Pardon me?
a long time ago.
No, I have no positions. Zero positions.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of watching this this X. Some people in the chat saying it's $35, but that was the one yesterday. I think that's old. But if we're, I don't know, if we're getting another bid, it's probably higher than the old one.
You think, otherwise, why would they not take it? Well, they didn't like the Cleveland Cliffs bid because it didn't allow them to do due diligence and other things. But there was another offer from another bidder that they didn't disclose the name of They didn't. I think Cleveland Cliffs was the one that came out and said that we did put an offer. That's why it was known. I don't think X is the one that released it. But anyway, I don't have data on the price here. My blotter's updating, and I keep getting different news items. As soon as we find out the bid.
All right, I'm long.
All right, I like it.
We're holding 50s. There's reserves on 50s, so I'm long initial size on 54. Let's see if we can get through 32 right now. Yeah, not looking for this one to quadruple on me, but you know, based on where we are trading right now, I'm willing to kind of hold this into, because the smaller size, maybe into 31, 20, and then see if we can add to it. I think this has the juice to get through 32. We got to 32.
Thank you.
32.50 on the last offer. So let's see here if we can hold this 50 price and then keep moving. On X, the short float is still 8.5% according to Trade Ideas. So, you know, multiple offers, hopefully scaring some shorts out, and we can maybe finally get a winner on the board here today.
Dan's saying a really good point. He's like, the rally is facing pressure from sellers at the IB low. Well, the IB low is around that 15.055, 15.0550, in and around there. So let's put a trend line there and then go back to the current price action. Yeah, so right there, we're gonna find probably some resistance here. We'll see. It's a nice move up off that level, but you know, it's still against the trend, no question about it. So let's not celebrate too much. Just touch the 50 period here on the one. I don't put too much stock into, but it should be noted at that level. Yeah, definitely some resistance coming in at this point. Let's see what's up. VFS, not even gonna look at that, but good trade on X there, Max. I know you're involved in that one. By the way, the production team is working on fixing the position board. Max is long, VFS at 31.54. So let's see how that one does, guys. It's a good look here. Sorry, not VFS. My mistake.
Yeah,
X. Yeah, U.S. Steel.
I am long U.S. Steel on this this new bid. Let's see. We are definitely seeing a lot of buying volume, kind of basing out a little bit here. So we'll see if we can get through this 31.75 high. You know, we're definitely kind of curling up here, but we need to get through that high of 32. I think. I mean, adding up there seems a little high, but if the offer is 35 or higher, you know, I mean, 30, let's say the bid is like 37 this time, we're pretty far off of that. And if the bids keep going up, then, you know, this stock is just going to keep going up. So here we go. Let's see if we can blast through this high of 32. I think a 32 break into 32.50 might make sense. 32.50 where we topped out 2 days ago. In the afternoon here, 32.55. Oops, whatever. So yeah, let's see if this will hold. I don't want this getting below 40s anymore, so probably punch out on a 39 price. Or if we wick this high again, I guess like that just got to 80s and then kind of came down. But the buying continues. Buyers not stopping on this name, so. Feeling not so bad about X right now. Wondering if I should. I don't know. I want more size, but I want it to be down here where it really should have been before. However, we are definitely holding this trend up and still looking good. So let's see what happens on this one. I think we can hold $31 and then keep going. This pre-market, or no, the opening range high 30.95. So if we get below 30.95, that's obviously an out. The market obviously doesn't care, but maybe we pull back to the teal here and then bounce and then keep going on U.S. Steel. I mean, there's definitely buyers in the market for this one. I guess the question is, how real are these offers that they're getting, and you know, the market not getting super excited and pushing us all the way up into like 33, 34 off these offers quite yet. And speaking of the market,
Day Trader cut asking about which one was it? OSTK. Yeah, I did see that earlier, but it wasn't on my radar, so I didn't put too much stock into it. OSTK. Have a look. Overstock.
They're pretty shorted, I think.
Well, it's retail week, right? Retail earnings week. I don't have anything with respect to them on my blotter at the moment. But what is the short float on that bad boy?
12%. It's not as much as I thought.
Good. I don't have a
Apparently
reason
that's
to be
enough
honest
to
with
send a stock up like 50% on the day.
you.
I'm still salty
He
about
says
that.
so
T-low.
sarcastically, right? But yeah.
And the fact that my price was actually the high of day, and then I wasn't short that one time. Yeah, really, we really talked ourselves out of that 24 short. Should have been in that one for sure. But maybe U.S. Steel pays.
This is an interesting look here on overstock, Bill. You had multiple days around that 31.5, and then yesterday you flunk off that 31.75 all the way to 30. You kind of hold 30, and this morning 30 was as good as you could do. Now 27.5. I don't see a reason, and I don't see a news item yesterday either, to be quite honest with you. And I'm going back on my blotter here. I keep going. 11. I'm talking about August 11th, August 9th. Nothing showing them up on my blotter with respect to overstock. Maybe this is kind of a retail weakness play. We
Here
know
we go,
that.
X. Sorry.
Go for it.
We're going for 32, new high. Well, not new high, but I mean, I didn't necessarily see 32 print, so it might not have actually printed there. Here we go, 232, breaking 32, 02s. All right, fail break. Let's see if this continues down or if we bid right back up. The bidders have stepped up on every dip so far. I'm going to take half out there just in case. And we will see, maybe add over 32. If it continues, I think that 32.50 high from the other day may just stop a lot of people out of any shorts.
Good trade, bro.
If they are in them, at 32.50 right
What a
here
sound
from
trade.
2 days ago. But now back into the 80s. So if we print 59 at this point, I'll be out of this one.
Gotcha. Yeah, overstock. I was basically saying that we know that retail has been weak, especially for discretionary items, right? We know that consumer doesn't want to spend as much on discretionary items as previously. They had been, all the COVID savings that they had, staying at home, we buy goods because we can't really go out. Now it's concerts, it's travel. That's where the money is. Experiences, in other words, that's where the discretionary money is being spent. Obviously, you have to continue to spend on staples. I submit to you, I don't think that Overstock is that, kind of thing. Overstock.com is an online retailer of the company. Through its online business, offers a range of products, including furniture, decor, area rugs, bedding, bath, home improvement, outdoor and kitchen, dining items. So, yeah, some of them are consumer staples, like kitchen stuff, but other stuff, you don't really need to be buying furniture. A lot of that stuff was done during COVID, right? People upgraded their homes. They did all that kind of stuff during the COVID times, the lockdown times. So we'll see how that goes up there. I woke up in a new Bugatti, Nita Stonk says. Brother, bring that over here, because we want that Bugatti over here. Yeah, bring that Bugatti over here, baby.
Another one.
Another
one. Another one.
A lot of ones. He's got a lot.
A lot of ones, just like the tape on Apple this morning, I was hearing.
Yeah, the Katinaman was saying that. He's like, what are all these bamboozling ones? What is all this? But yeah, let's look at Apple. Good segue there, Max, because I will not be convinced that there is not a huge buyer here at 177. Let's go. 30 minutes. Look at this, bro. On a day where the market is in a full state of huadunk, look at Apple.
A full state of quadunk.
Look at this. Apple is holding up. There is definitely a buyer. Somebody big is adding at this position. There's no doubt about it. I mean, I don't need to be convinced. I'm convinced.
Pre run up, 136.50 is where we held up. So, or not, sorry, 176.50 is where we held up prior to the big run up into. Did we get to 200 on Apple? Not quite, right?
Not
quite.
Hold on.
Yeah. We got to like 198 or something. And,
Yeah, 198 and a quarter.
So yeah, we held up right at that same price that we held up yesterday on that 176.5, and then we're holding these levels. We can't even get down to 177.
And on a day where the market's
today.
very weak.
Yeah, market super weak. Apple holding up. What else is new? But on the run up on the market, Apple was pretty muted on the way up. So I think a lot of that.
The position board is wrong there, by the way. I'm not short at 137, by the way. At 15.037. Position board going crazy. Going crazy. All right, let's see what the...
You're making too much money.
Yeah, right. Oh, kind of the opposite. Okay.
Here we go for 32 again on X. So let's see if this 32 break works for the second time. 32.02, the high.
Mic
no
problems.
real prints above 32 is all right.
Okay. They
It's
got
good.
it. They got it. They got it. Yeah.
All right, here we go. New high on X. Flying. Why didn't I take more size
Nice,
streaks? Why didn't I
Max.
reload?
Good job,
Let's
bro.
go, baby. If we take out 32.50, that's gonna be a serious banger. I guess I should have the news blotter open here, just in case there are some new details that come out. 12:44, so 5 minutes ago, there were some new details. It looks like. Weighing possible bid. So it's not even an actual bid. I should probably know this before jumping into a trade, but whatever. YOLO, what's life without whimsy, as Sheree says.
All right, guys. Let's see what else. Say it again. VFS. Let's go back to that bad boy. It is a full state of Khwadunk. There we go. Right back into 28.25. Bit of lows there. Look at last time we got into 28, it got right back up into 29. Then there was obviously a seller here at 29, and there they go right back down again, 28.25. The spread opening up 28.50 or 28.49 on the ask, 28.25 on the bid. Right, definitely the volume is going down, but it is also headed down. Eek. Definitely happy to take that 30 break there, Max. That would have been bad. But, keeping an eye on that. What else we got going on here? X you got. I'll leave that one to you. Somebody telling me Nat Gas at lows 259.60. UNG holding up at 6.99. I'm going to add here, honestly, on UNG with my out being the break of 6. So I got in at 7.10, so I'm 10 pennies out of the money. I'm talking about my long-term account on Nat Gas. Yeah, I'm like, why don't I buy the lows? I mean, what does it cost me? $1? I didn't really care, right? And so interesting look here, 6.99 again on UNG. Nat Gas, the futures contract, 259.2. That's after breaking 3. It's pulled back quite a bit, several negative days on UNG. But buying the bottom, to me, I know exactly where I'm going to go. So interesting look there. Let's see what else. Position board over here. Not much happening for me on Lee. Lee's flat. Okay, now Lee is also interesting in that it seems to hold that 40 level, much in the same way that Apple is holding that 177. Let me look at Lee Auto here. Yeah, this is an interesting look for Lee. It was a sell the news event, no question about that. They had amazing earnings, but we know that the China weakness has been coming and plaguing these Chinese names. But look at this 40 hold here. This takes us back to about August 8th. This 40 hold happening over and over. The dips, somebody's buying this below 40. We did get into 39 on the 14th, and it was bought, that was in the pre-market. It was bought up again immediately below that 40. How long does 40 hold, though? The more the Chinese government seems to speak, really, the more these ADRs keep selling off, because it's not good news coming out of there. Quite frankly, let's be real about it. But yeah, that 40 level is very intriguing on our friend Lee. John Del Sengo. Take a look at UNG Island top at 8. Have a look at that. Let's go instead of Lee here, UNG. I was kind of looking at the bottoms, to be honest with you, because I was trying to figure out where my stop was going to be on that rather than really looking at the tops. But yeah, Island top, he says. Where's the $8 level? Yeah, no question about it. You had that pop in, and I was like doing the dance when I was in the money on this one, like about 75 pennies or 90 pennies. Now I'm out of the money 10 pennies, no big deal for me. But yeah, no question about it. What I do like though on UNGs, you have higher lows and higher highs. And that takes us back to late May. It hasn't made lower lows, pardon me, and it's been making higher highs. So last time around, when we got into the top there, June 26th, we topped out at 783. Last time we got into 810. Not much. I know we're talking pennies here. But trend is my friend.
Trend is your friend.
Keep an eye on that.
100%. X kind of volume tapering off. So my stop is trailed now in the money, and I got a couple outs ahead of high of day. We'll see if this gets back up. If not, I mean, it's still an okay little scalp action. I figured maybe we take out that 32.50 and trend a bit higher. I think that the news is a little bit muted. Worse news, not worse, but like not as good news as I thought it would be. So no big deal on this one. Probably should have taken some out above 32, but you're looking for the bigger trade on the second half, and that is what that is. We'll see if we get stopped out right here. Yes, we do. So winner on the board, not as big as it could have been. Maybe we find support again at 31. I mean, I think that this is still bullish news for U.S. Steel, that they have offers constantly kind of coming in despite canceling their prior agreement. Yeah, it was U.S. Steel. I am now out of that. What else is going on? The market's kind of turning back around. Where is NVIDIA?
We'll see. I'm definitely interested in this NQ, but I need to see higher lows and higher highs here. Yeah, let's jump into it
I feel
here
like we're
quickly.
turning back down on the market is what I mean. Like
Down, eh?
kind of bounce off
you
of
say?
that like we don't even get to 15.050, and now we're right back down off of that little bounce. Might as
point.
well
Good
bring
point.
it up. That 15.050 was the kind of key spot on the day. Dan's IB low. 15.051, I guess, is that price, and we bounce off 15, can't even get to there, and now we're heading right back down. So I think possibly finding a spot to get short on something makes a whole lot of sense for me. I just have to find the right name, and I think NVIDIA fail breaking 438 makes sense. Load.
Here we go.
Yeah, if we get back up to this 438, wake up, slam back down, maybe we can get back into that 435 level, and maybe we bounce again off there. This could be the new kind of the new range today. I mean, NVIDIA basically looks exactly like the market chart today on ES. If we put these guys side by side, makes a low, bounces, and then just chops around all day. So. Yeah, I mean, if the market's going through the low, I would suggest that NVIDIA may be doing the same. Also, D-Low is at an interesting spot at the moment. This is kind of where we consolidated below before, this 22-ish level, 2175. We consolidated here just now. We're breaking back below. That would have been a pretty sick short off of $24, Sharif. That's got to be the miss of the day for the two of us, at least, on this show.
Man, this NQ, bro, we're going to go right back to lows.
Yeah, I think we're going straight back down.
Short here. I think I missed my opportunity to get in the 30s. Ooh.
Yeah,
There
I'm
we
just
go
not
again.
seeing anything
This
that's
was a
like
miss
at a
by
good
me.
level for me to short it. Like NVIDIA didn't get there. We're kind of flying back in. Just take like
Sparky
a
Trader, he's
momentum
talking
short.
about the IB low, not IV low.
Yeah, IB. Imbalance low? Yeah, imbalance low. Is Dan's always talking about that. That's what futures
Dan will explain
traders
that to you.
like to use. The first hour of trading, high and low, is the imbalance high and low, I guess. I've never used that. Opening range is what we sometimes.
Yeah, you
use.
can call it that. I mean, in
Opening
equities,
range.
yeah.
I mean,
agree.
opening range on equities is typically 15 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
But obviously, yeah, I mean, you can define
Initial
that however
balance,
you
yeah.
feel.
Oil apparently is
Initial
in a full state of
balance,
Huadum.
not imbalance. Initial balance.
Oil is down 1 1/4. Sure, I'm gonna celebrate that. I gotta tell you the truth, man. Every morning when I walk from my condo to the subway station, and there's a gas station right there, I get annoyed, right? Because it's like I'm just getting rinsed here on gas. Let's look at the CL, the light sweet crude on the NYMEX. Let's go to the continuous. Yes, oil headed south. Let's put WTI here for everybody. We didn't talk about Oxy or any of these other names. The closing print yesterday was 80.99, essentially 81 on the West Texas Intermediate. Let's zoom out here. That's a 5-minute chart. Let's go to the half. And yeah, so we did top out there 84, 85. I would suggest a lot of these red days on oil is probably continued Chinese weakness. We know that they are a big user of oil, no question about it. And the weaker their economy is, the less likely they are to use oil, whether for products or gasoline or what have you. Now, where are we going to find some support? Well, here is August 8th. We got right into that 80 level, and then it was a big boy bounce right up to that 83 level. So we are at that level right now, 79.82 with a 79.74 low. Do we find support around this $80 level? I mean, we're a smidge below it now. Do we get bought up? I don't know. This was a fantastic flat bottom break. We danced with 80.50 yesterday, couldn't break it. We danced with it again this morning, early on at 2:30. You know, obviously this is a commodity. It's traded all over the world. We get up to 81.43, nuh-uh. And then we flat bottom break through that 8.50. A good look there for whoever's trading commodities. I've never traded commodities except for nat gas, and I'm in the ETF, not in the actual commodity itself. But there we go. Weekday on oil, 1.5 now. Ooh, it's in a full state of drop here. I was saying 1.25. It's 1.5 now. 1.44 with a new low, 79.74. Not full state of Huadu. Yeah, they're on oil. So there we go. Full state, baby. Where else?
State, yeah.
Let's see what we're talking about here. It's 1 o'clock in New York. Yes, sir. Shout out to Bears versus Bulls. Dan, I'm aligned with the market. I will act in tune with what the market is attempting to do. I remain short below the RTH. OR, this framework protects us and rewards us, NQ. There you go.
All right.
Hey, what do you got over there, Max?
I tried a D-low long. That did not work at all. It looked like it was holding 50 for a second. Probably hung on for 10 seconds too long on that one. I think if we pop back through 50, or is that where that topped out at? No, I think it was 50. Oh, it was 60. If we pop back through 60, that would make sense for a long. I guess they were just waiting for me to get out before popping it back up. But yeah, we'll see. It popped to 55s-ish, so we'll see if we can get through 55s, and then maybe that's the kind of reversal move here on D-low. Back up to VWAP, and maybe there's something else in this. But to be fair, this kind of looks like that Christmas tree that Randy talks about.
He loves that Christmas tree pattern.
So maybe we forget about this one.
I don't really
It's
have
gone.
anything here.
It's gone. Hands off. No more D-low. I convinced myself, I wanted this thing short all day, and now I'm going long for a reversal on a move that I thought would continue. So makes no sense. We cancel that one. But yeah, U.S. steel still kind of consolidating high. I want to see it back down to 31 and holding in this range, and then just giving it to that kind of, let's call it an 30.89 break. For that potential move back into 32 or continuation or whatever. But yeah, I'm not going to pay these prices again. I think on that initial volume, you can pay these prices because there's that natural kind of buying coming in. Once the volume dies down and you're buying pretty high, you're opening yourself up to a bit too much risk, in my opinion. So I'm going to wait for VWAP, wait for 31, and we'll see what happens there. Nothing wanting to quite get to that 15K, so higher low on the 5-minute.
Yeah, you saw that? I'm looking at that too.
If we take out 15,
Yeah, I'm seeing that too.
050, I guess, is the price
To
that
me,
I
a
really want
newer
to see us
high
take out.
It's 15.037, 15.04, like that top of the
Yeah, like
crest
this,
right there.
this
yeah.
top right here. Yeah, if we take that out, that looks pretty good for maybe a bounce move. Apple leading the charge at the
Yeah,
moment.
man. Apple,
We sit
Somebody's
here talking
buying it
about
here, man.
how somebody's buying Apple,
Yeah.
and we're also not getting long Apple.
well, yeah. I mean, I'm
That's
talking about it more
ridiculous.
from the long term because the 177 is where I added. But yeah, absolutely.
I mean, double
I
bottom
like this here,
at the
man.
low there. Pretty easy way to get involved.
All right, I'll
Come
try
on,
my
load.
hand here at this. Let's see if
Load.
we get some continuation. We'll see. Bit of a dangerous
Also,
trade.
yeah, I mean, this consolidation, you can take the breakout or you can take the retest of those consolidation highs at 177.50, and now you're already 40 cents in the money, which on Apple is not actually a bad trade at all.
No.
This one doesn't move like a Tesla or something or an Nvidia. So, yeah, that's a pretty good look. We were talking about it kind of all day about how somebody's buying it and just
Delo.
higher lows trend up.
Delo is just
getting
headed
smoked.
south.
Getting
21 incoming. My goodness, the weakness continues in spades on that. VFS found a bit of a bottom. I want to see at 28, back into 29. We know that there was a seller last time at 29, no question about that. Look at all the wicks into 29 here. Do we have size? I mean, that's not that big, right? At 29 there, but yeah, there seems to be definitely a seller there. Look at how many times you wick up and then reject. Then you come back into that 28 area, but the spread really opening up on this bad boy. So it might not be a good look. It might not be a good look. We'll see what else is moving. Yeah, you mentioned Apple already. Let TSM, for whatever reason, it's the only green microchip name that I see here on the day. It's up 0.25%. Taiwan Semiconductor, only 4 million shares, really nothing to speak of there. Rivian, for whatever reasons, up 1.5%. Rivian. Does it have a headline? No headline here. Maybe in, I guess, inverse sympathy with VFS. The Katina man's wife is now interested in a Rivian, so we may be seeing Rivians around here. Yes, yes. He mentioned that this morning. Nikola as well, also green, 4 3/4, dancing with $2 at the moment. We know they've had a lot of trouble with engine fires and whatnot. Pinduoduo, 1.5% to the good, just dancing with 80 at the moment. I'm talking about PDD. Oh, let's bring this in. PDD, doing well. Man, this Temu, who has used this Temu app? I was talking to Brendo this morning. He laughed when I said it, but legitimately, this Temu app has like $10 smartwatches and whatnot. So it's been very interesting to see how they can actually do that. I'm gonna have to get out of this trade. Oh boy, that's bad. Yeah, no, it's not. So Brendo, the thing is, Yahoo Finance did a test run of this, and they ordered the watch. It came in 7 days, and it absolutely felt like a real Apple Watch. Obviously, it didn't work in the same way as an Apple Watch. The icons look the same, but the fact that you can get it for $10 with free shipping coming out of China is kind of ridiculous. Sorry? I'm not kidding, man. You Google it yourself, right? Well, whether it's trash or not, the fact is it came in at $10 and it takes your heart rate, it does all this stuff. So it's very interesting how Temu was able to do all this. Now, I did a little bit of research. Apparently, there's Trump-era tariffs on any Chinese imports. However, there's an exception for that. Anything sub $800 is exempt from any of these tariffs. So all these products are coming in tariff-free. And they're coming in from China, which, you know, we talked about the cost there and how they're able to make things at a discounted rate. So this Temu app, apparently with the, what's the other one? Shen, does anybody know what I'm talking about? This Shen app or something like that. These, yeah, you know, Xian, thank you. Cat gets it. Cat knows what I'm talking about, baby. Where's the cat thing over here? I don't have it. But there it is.
Hola, like and subscribe today.
The Xian app and Temu apparently taking the world, no, I'm kidding, of course, by storm. You're able to get ridiculously discounted items off there. And apparently they don't really want to make money off you. They want your data. That's what they're after, apparently. That's the modus operandi of this company. They want you to kind of get locked into their network. It was a really interesting article written by a writer at Yahoo Finance. It took me forever to read. It was quite lengthy, and there was a corresponding video to it as well. If you want to know more about it, obviously do your own research, but very interesting. Whoa. Very interesting little tidbit there.
Market
Max,
dump.
look
Market
at that
dump.
market, baby.
I walk away, the bid drops. Who would have guessed? Nobody's holding it up anymore.
Let's see. Open my mouth too soon on
Wow,
IWM.
okay.
Golly, says SDK Hands. Yeah, IWM, obviously the Russell ETF. But we did break 29 while you were gone on VFS. There was definitely a seller at 29 that's come and gone because we got into the 29.45 area. So interesting look here. We definitely had some support initially at that 29.50 earlier on that came and went with this big boy candle all the way down to VWAP. But expecting resistance here?
I guess we should have just paid the price for some of these shorts. I don't know which one.
15,000.
Oh, actually.
We broke 15,000. There it goes.
AMD
We are
was
sub
the easiest
15,000 now, Max.
short.
What a week day. Oh, wow.
If we're going to reverse this move, I like Microsoft at 321, which it's kind of screaming into right now, so I'm going to be watching that. I like the buy reversal at 321 if the market decides to bounce off 15K. I'm not really expecting that based on this consolidation. We couldn't really push up at all. I think that the short is in. I think the short is good. I think if you are short, put a stop, but hang on to it. Yeah, this is... Nvidia's not really continuing down, interestingly. Like, what's not going? Apple is still strong. AMD was such an easy short off that prior low. 107.60, 107.75 was the prior low, and that's where we get to. Right now, I am watching intently this Microsoft 321. That's where we've been holding for quite some time now. So let's see if this wants to hold right now and the market holds. But yeah. This looks pretty brutal for the NASDAQ. We haven't touched 15K. I guess we can go find it, but it's been a minute.
You can get fake Yeezys too. Fake Yeezys on the Temu app for $8.97 Canadian, free shipping.
What is this app?
Temu. It's by JD.com. They reported that's why this is relevant.
Why do you want fake Yeezys?
I don't want fake. But
I don't want fake shoes.
Fake Yeezys.
Fake shoes would probably not be very good.
Slippers. Like the fake Yeezy slippers, you know, those ones that kind of look
I actually
gargantuan.
I don't.
Yeah, they're like dead stock at the moment. Don't roast them. Ramin has Yeezys and she's sensitive about the topic. No, I'm kidding, of course. I like them. I don't think they're bad. They're gargantuan. They'll like lift you up like 2-3 inches. Anybody short
the ones that are
wants
kind of they have like the holes in them and they're kind of bubbly.
There's those ones. There's a couple of Yeezys.
Oh, there's a couple different ones.
They have the Croc Yeezys and like the actual like slide Yeezys as well.
All right.
They come in a bunch of colors. Man, 15,000's come and gone, Max.
Come and gone for sure.
Come and gone, baby.
Bounce not really occurring at the moment, but we'll see, I guess. If we get back above and Microsoft's above 321, I'll try that. I don't think that, like, what are you going to short right now? That's the question.
X looks good.
Like, what are you going to short? X is pulling in, but the market is dumping.
Oh, market's just...
Obviously, the market dumping has nothing to do with X getting bought out. However, you know, the algos probably trend this thing with the market regardless. Maybe that's something to buy the dip on because it's, yeah, I don't know. That's doing an independent move. I don't think buying that for the market bounce makes sense. But we are starting to very slightly bounce. Let's see if we retest on NASDAQ, that 15K. If we blast through it, you know, you guys know what I'm going to be long. We'll see. NVIDIA's holding up nicely, and so is Apple. So
yeah,
we'll see on this. We'll see.
Yeah, this is very interesting here on Apple. Apple is just a standout name and strength at this level. Very interesting how Apple is acting in this way. Just, you know, from Dan says, boom, we're gonna spend the money for Dan because I know he's printing on his shorts today. Good for you, Dan. You killed it today.
Nice shorts today.
You insisted on the short. Hats off to you, my friend. You did well. And I know he had a 4K day last, I think a couple of days ago, maybe something like that. He was talking about that in the chat.
We take those.
Yeah.
Take those.
Shout out to Dan the Man Evans. What else being talked about here? Let's go, Max. Dump it, baby. Says
What do you
Michael
want me to
Escroza.
dump? I'm
I
not
don't know,
sure.
man.
There's the market bounce.
Cootie Love, isn't there
I missed
FOMC
this?
meeting today? No. We're getting the notes from the last FOMC meeting where they kind of give you insight into how they're thinking. A lot of people look to that for guidance as to, you know, how long they're going to stay elevated for, how many rate hikes they continue to see. Also, they talk about the terminal rate. They talk about the dot plot. I know. Do they release the dot plot today, or is that usually with the report, right?
This is FOMC minutes.
This is the minutes only. I thought maybe the dot plot came with it. Yeah, we'll have a look. Anyway, to see where they see rates in a year down the road, 6 months down the road. So essentially, what they're looking for is insight from the Fed. That's why it's so closely watched. Back up to 15. 15 holding here. Well, not holding, but retracement into 15. No question about it. Do we close above 15? I know it's been a really tough day. Hard to imagine we'll get any sort of a run up. The NQ is down 2/3. The ES is down 0.4. Need a stonk. Talking to Saad Mahmoud. Mahmoud talking to me. Shorted VFS from yesterday, risking off 40, covered around 31 this morning. PM, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Good for you, brother. And we're gonna put the rocket for you, even though it's AMC. But yeah, you get the move there to the high side. Happy for you. I'm happy that you're printing. Good trade, no question about it. Cootie love, KK, thanks. I was unsure. Yep. What else we got here? What is the possibility the Fed minutes covered donating $1 million into my account? You don't ask if you don't get. You don't get if you don't. You don't get if you don't ask. What else we got to move in here? Nothing on my radar. Continuing to watch some of the side charts here.
I tried
IonQ
Microsoft
bouncing.
there, but
No go?
too high. I missed the 321, so I was in a little high on this, trying to break the kind of consolidation low range here at 30s. Didn't go, got out for like a 5-cent loss. So
Oh my God,
no
look at
big deal
this.
on that one.
Elon Musk is now fighting words for Zuck. He says, I guess Zuck said something about traveling, and then Musk tweeted, traveling my you-know-what. Musk accuses Zuck of running away from the fight. All right. Interesting. Two grown men. It's all good. It's all good. What else we got here? Let's look at some other movers. 10-cent music. Interesting day for 10-cent music. Up 5%. 6.5% since the bell. We know they reported not too long ago. TME is the ticker there. 10-cent music and entertainment. The volume, I got to tell you, it's only 5.6 million on a $6 name. But here it is. It's not a bad look for it coming into the resistance level that we encountered yesterday, 6.5. 655 was definitely the top that we rejected off. We're coming right back there. So could we find resistance at that level? It might be an interesting short for TME. I mean, I haven't been watching this until now. We'll continue to watch that as we watch the future hold 15,000 for now, but for how long?
Yeah, I'm kind of lamenting the fact that I missed this move on Microsoft. Looks pretty good. I can't pay up 40 cents over the stop right now. So we'll see if we pull back into 321, and then you can kind of stop it down at 320.75-ish. But yeah, I mean, futures are still making a nasty move down right now, bouncing off of the prior consolidation low here at 15.010-ish. So we need to get back above the breakdown price and, close above the breakdown price before we can declare any bounce legitimate. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, we are holding above 15K right now. So people who were expecting the 15K flush who are short, I mean, where do they stop out? Probably above 15.040 that we were talking about before, or 15.050, which was the opening low on the NASDAQ futures. Yeah, I mean, Apple was the one to take off the bottom again. Tries to get there, can't get there. You can basically punch any price on Apple, like 177.50. You're already 25 cents in the money on that one. Apple looking like it doesn't want to be anywhere near the lows today of these 176.85s. Yeah, that's what it was, right? 170, yeah, 176.85. U.S. Steel won't get to my price, so can't really do anything about that. It's holding above VWAP, holding above that 31. I don't want to pay up here because I think the stop has to be 89 on this one.
Interesting hold here on X, though, eh?
Yeah, it is a good hold for sure. But what is this price?
Random, 31
maybe
and a
this,
third?
Maybe this
What
is
the
a
hell is
price from previously.
Is it?
Maybe. I have no idea.
Random price to pop up.
I guess that's
but-
kind of this is this top, assuming that's real. But that's no,
nice.
that's an
Here
8,
comes-
8 a.m. candle, so that's not real. I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know why
I
this,
mean, the institutional order, you mean?
yeah, that's one of those dark
Okay.
pool wick candles. So I'm not sure why we're holding up there, but we certainly are, and you get like a 20-cent bounce off of there. I think, you know, the volume's holding up, definitely higher volume than at any other point in the day, really, except maybe the opening candle there is still holding for the past almost hour now, actually, since that news was announced. So, you know, you could be taking fills on this one just on the fact that people are positioning right now and kind of, you know, buying low, selling high, trying to just get bounces, or, you know, going in the direction of the trend might be a little bit more intelligent, and kind of shorting high and then buying up the dips and just kind of going back and forth on that one, making a little scalp profit. As you guys know, Sharif and I are not the best at that kind of strategy.
The
so,
range trading? Oh, baby.
so
I
we
love
haven't been
me
doing
some
that.
range trading.
Also, hard to do something like that while you're also trying to, you know, talk about other stocks. You got to be really focused and just kind of in and out, and
Yeah.
you know, it's really that's the hard labor of trading. Right
Oh,
there,
yeah.
trying to do that kind of rebate style or, you know,
Oh, yeah.
in and out scalp style, for sure.
Looking at, still watching here the future as we curl back into 15,000. So 15,000 dip got bought up. It's above it right now, but really nothing happening here except the fact that we know that they're buyers just below this price. But for how long? Let's see if we can get any you know, concerted movement to the high side. Not much happening at the moment, and I'm not just gonna punch in for the sake of punching in. Let's continue to watch and see what happens. I've been looking at my my side chart and my watch list here to see what's moving, and there isn't a whole lot right now. I don't want to say that there's nothing, but yeah.
Oh,
What do you got? What happened?
I don't know if that's a good trade, but Nvidia did that fail break of 438 that I was looking for before, but you know, I wanted it in here for the move into 15K. Taking it after we already bounced off 15K feels like, you know, probably shorting the backside and a recipe for getting smoked on this one. So I don't think I'll take that, but it did initially give you, I don't know, a 20-cent, 30-cent move. I guess that's really nothing, but yeah, market seems like it's bouncing here. Microsoft never gave me the fill that I wanted, so I'm not long anything into this potential bounce, but 5-minute chart starting to look a little better on the market. Still need to get up into these, you know, 15,040 kind of levels to really declare any bounce. You have to imagine, though, into that FOMC minutes, we got only 40 minutes left until that shows up, even less, 38 minutes.
Sir. Yeah.
I don't think that, you know, I feel like mean reversion into that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
So maybe I should have actually been more aggressive on the bounce play, given that. Yeah. Usually into any kind of announcement, there's going to be a lot of mean reversion, and we did a pretty aggressive move through a key level and are playing above it. Probably should be long, a little bit more aggressive right now, actually, on Microsoft. Actually, is not looking so bad. Could have just taken that 321 back through, and you know, you're 50 cents in the money right now. Is what it is on that. I think the real action comes at 2 o'clock if anything's going to happen. I'm not holding my breath for that. I don't think we're going to learn anything new out of this FOMC minutes. Pretty much any time any kind of FOMC stuff comes out these days, it's just down. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Where is U.S. Steel at? Still bouncing off that random 30 price on U.S. Steel.
Yeah.
Maybe just take like if
VHFS
there must be some weird reserve down here. I'm gonna actually watch the tape on U.S. Steel to see if there's some weird order that's not getting filled down here, because this is a strange place to hold up. And I don't know, if we're going to make that secondary move through 32, I would like to be involved on this one. We have seen how this stock can trend before. You saw very nicely.
Very
how
interesting.
That one trended from 29 to 30.
It was very nice.
What was it, 31 or something? That day it was something nuts.
We went from like 30 to 31, 30 and change to 31 and change.
Oh,
that
and then we
day.
got that news that sent it right through the high of 30.25 into 32.50. So I'm guessing that you weren't still long, sadly, on that one. I think your stop was like 85. It got to 80s, and then in that candle, boom, right
gone.
up to 32.50.
Right up. Yeah. Well,
It is what it is.
exactly.
I don't think that getting upset that you're not in a news move is really, like, what can you do about that?
Right. Exactly. Keeping an eye on the future. We're still above 15, but no higher high. Higher high has to come through 15.037, I would say, or in that area, 15.034, 15.035. We need a break of the crest, but nothing doing so far for me. But we have that 15 dip by. I mean, if you obviously got long 15, you're doing well. You get 16 points in the money. Not too much to write about. I'm really struggling to find something here on the side, guys. Moving. We have Apple moving into 178 again. We know that the high of the day on Apple, 178.54. We're at 177.93. Apple, a relative outperformer today, 25 million shares done, 24.4 million shares. Outdone only in the big cap world by Tesla, which has done 76.2. What's NVIDIA done? 32.9, correction. So Apple third in that regard, followed by Amazon with 23 million shares, but Apple, the only green name among them.
It's insane how much notional volume Tesla does.
Nuts.
Like,
You gotta
every
assume.
day, Tesla's leading the market in volume unless some crazy small cap is going off or there's earnings on some other name. But honestly, even earnings days, like Tesla's usually beating out an NVIDIA or
You gotta assume there's
an
a lot of
Apple or
algo trading
something.
on that.
I mean, it's just
It's
the
mostly
options
computer
volume.
trade.
People are.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
that's just like
Exactly.
the stock that everybody who day trades and trades options loves to trade, and then it goes nuts. But
Speaking of
yeah, like
options, let's
every
bring
day
in the
that-
options trader over here. We're looking for VFS. We're looking for options on that, and there's still no options contract. I really want to buy puts. Neil putting it in my mind this morning. That's
the one
move.
issue with that trade though is that only 1% of the outstanding shares are available to trade. So
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing.
If some algo or market maker or whatever wants to acquire most of the float and then send this thing to wherever they want it to go, then all of those shorts are going to get squeezed.
Well, yeah.
Obviously, having the puts means that you are not exposed to the short.
Well, exactly.
You're exposed to the short, but not the
You
downside.
limit your liability,
Exactly.
and that was the point right there, because we could get smoked.
Yeah.
Anybody wants to manipulate this name, we know that the float isn't that big, and a lot of buying power with a lot of these big money names, you never know.
But the fact that the valuation is bigger than GM and Ford combined, I think.
What a disaster. Well, it just shows
That's
you
just
how the
silly.
market
That
works,
is
right?
just
And that's
silly.
the whole reason why you think it's gonna have the rug pulled out from under it, because it just doesn't make a lot of sense. We're continuing to print higher here on the future, 15.020, and then met obviously with some resistance as it is a selling day. Ursan saying GNS moving. Really? Let's have a look here. GNS. Yeah, okay. 111 bottom, 128 right now. The volume on it, 10.3 million shares on a $1 name. It's not all that much, but sure, it is popping up. It's still down 10% on the day, 9.96. So not really going to touch that one. Keeping my eye here. What do we got? We had this JXJT earlier in the day, still up 32%. Let's pull up the chart on JXJT. Here it is. Go to, this is what, the 5 minute? Yeah, we kind of gave up the ghost there on the drop, and we haven't really been able to take VWAP. You had one attempt at VWAP at around 10.55, and now we're curling back up here. We're looking to take VWAP maybe at 220. We're at 210. We were far removed finding that 175 bottom. Now breaking above 2, and now we're talking about 210, but something tells me this is quite spready. No, it's not. It's 1 penny. Oh, 4 penny spread on a $2 name. That for me is kind of spready. So we'll see what this one does, but yeah, not much in this way of small cap gappers and movers today. So we'll keep a look at that. Please review WLDS. I see that as number 4 on my scanner, having done 1.36 million shares. It's a $1.50 stock. That probably tells you all you need to know. WLDS, yeah, it's a bit of a look. It's got a good move up, 13.5%. What's the reason for the move up? I don't have an entry on my blotter here, but it definitely is a series of higher highs, higher lows, and nice upward channel. There you go. Made a new high a day, broke through that 151 to 152. I'm not going to trade this, right? So volume suspect on it. Not really the day for the small cap gappers. HE is the one that really is doing volume here in small cap world with 21.7 million shares, $16.44 on Hawaiian Electric. We know there is going to be a class action lawsuit, Max, sadly. And there's the price action. Let's look at that. HE. Oops. Here it is. I'm assuming the catalyst came in yesterday or the day prior, pardon me, because that's when we dropped off from around that $33 level and we finished off the day at lows of 19, but I think the closing print was somewhere in the 20s. Yesterday didn't fare much better. We get down to 15s today, holding up somewhat, looking like we held yesterday's support of that 14.75, 14-ish area. Actually get up to 17.25. Now we're at 16.5. Above VWAP, kind of consolidative sideways. We'll see how this one fares. But there goes the future to the downside again. Do we get another 15,000 test here? And if we do, is it a higher low? Did I kick you?
I was a little stretched out there.
My bad, bro.
It seems.
Do we get another dip into 15,000? If we do we get bought up? It was a wicking candle right down there. It looks like we topped out at that 15.2 for the moment on the future. JB, Sharif, can you go over some levels on Tesla and see where it can go down to if the market continues to fall over the next couple of weeks, please? Well, I know that Katina Man is interested in picking up Tesla at 220. He made that very clear this morning.
I have the 214 level personally.
214?
Which we talked about earlier on in the show. Yeah, I got 223 and 214 as the next kind of stops for Tesla.
Okay.
I feel like there's lots of downside left in it. The gap up on that,
big.
I'm sure you're going to show the daily chart in a second here.
Yeah, here's the 4 hour.
You know,
Let's
you
go
look
to
at
the
where
4
we
hour.
came from. We came from 214, and there was barely any trading at all between 214 and 250, basically.
Yeah, well, right here.
Like no consolidation whatsoever. So that's kind of what I'm looking at in the next little while. I want to pick up Tesla on dips on a day trade.
Yeah.
Just because it has that bounce in it all the time. If we do an extended move, then yeah. But
margins getting squeezed.
yeah.
They're introducing cheaper Model X's, S's, trying to stimulate demand. Now, a lot of that could be reaction to the lack of consumer spending. Some of it could be to squeeze out their competitors who aren't profitable, who don't have margins on cars because they lose money. So it's really hard to know what Elon is thinking at any one time, but the chart doesn't lie. And here we are, Max. This is what you were talking about, that 215, 214 area that we danced with in late Jan, mid-Feb. Now, mind you, February was a very was a down month for the NQ, yet Tesla ran up from 190, low 190s into that 214 that Max was talking about. So yeah, a bit of an interesting area there. I don't know. Look, to me, put a resting order at 200, right? I mean, there was a lot of interaction with 200 over here. Like, look, you have the triple top, and then again in March and April, you have more interactions with 200, and then you get the eventual break, obviously, in late May, early June, where we just fly up, touch 295. That's my look on Tesla. I mean, this one I've never actually held in my long-term account. It's terrifying to me to hold it, right? It is. It's just like I have to wake up every morning and see what this is doing, and you know.
It moves so much that I think like the notional value of your position has to be a little lower on Tesla, but then that reward is going to be higher as a percentage. and the risk higher as a percentage. So,
Fair.
You know, it's same like day trading it basically.
Yeah, well,
I don't know. I have never owned Tesla either.
neither have I. But the
If we
Katina
got
man is
down to
interested.
200, I think I would test that out.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Did we break 100 on Tesla in December? I don't think we quite got to that 100 break. I remember we were all thinking like,
me have a look.
oh, this is going to be doomsday. We're going to break down on Tesla. We're all going to print $50. It's going to be crazy. And
I follow this
believe it
options trader on the gram, and this guy keeps like writing stuff that I'm just like, I respect what he's done, but he puts like Tesla to $15 and stuff. It's like, bro, come on, man. like say respectable things. Anyway, a lot of Tesla bears out there, but you're right, Max. Look at that. This is the bottom here in January. The January lows. We got to exactly 101-ish area, Max. 101 and a third, it looks like there. What's the low of that candle? The low is 101.20. I don't. That's obviously not all-time lows, because it obviously goes way back before that. But local lows, 101.20. That was January 6th that day. And no, we obviously haven't printed anywhere near there since. If you were to draw a trend line from the bottom, maybe you could use anchored VWAP as well. Shout out to Michael Noss and Brian Shannon. That 200 level right now would be the touch of the trend line, but that's just a random line that some dude on a YouTube show just drew. So yeah, trade the price action.
Yeah, X, I did get long off that 3130 level. There is definitely a buyer at 3130. Something weird on the tape. You know, there's some kind of reserves when you get down to 3130. So I got long 33s, out half of it at 53s for the scalp. The rest of it we'll try to get. Was that 53s? 53 and a half. Look at that. An extra half penny there. But yeah, trying to get it back up into that 3180. We'll see what happens here. I'll just stop out for profit on the rest at 3139, I guess, let's say. But looking good, uptrend continuing. It seems like volume starting to pick up a little bit more. Obviously, that's a red candle that the highest volume is on of the last little move, so got to be cognizant of that. But I don't know, this is looking decent. Always good to see a reserve buyer there and be able to kind of just send it up off of that. So decent little scalp here on this one. It's almost as much as as many pennies as I got on the original one off of 50s up there when the volume was actually high. So that's pretty good actually. Maybe I should just bail on it right here and take the W. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, Microsoft, what a bottom. I called the bottom, Sheree.
Oh, let's have a look at our friend Microsoft there. Yeah, good call. And that was that 39.20. That was yesterday's close. You called that. That was actually a very good technical level. I'm assuming this is what you're talking about. I want to put words in your mouth. Yeah, exactly. Well, yesterday's close, my friend, was that 321.18. And you got a great bounce off that.
It never actually printed below that 321.18 once it reclaimed it.
Right. Well,
yeah,
getting a
not really.
bounce.
It went to 15 after that. So, yeah, definitely a miss there. I should have been a little more aggressive punching. I kind of forgot about the context of that FOMC, and I think that, you know, to think that we're just gonna kind of blast through 15K right before some kind of FOMC, I think that we can definitely blast through it on the notes themselves. Yeah. But yeah, you got to be thinking mean reversion going into that. Obviously, if you're already short, you're not just covering necessarily into it if you're like way in the money, but you got to be considering that for sure. And yeah, that's a miss there. Whatever.
There's another interesting look here on Meta. Now, this is a multi-day look on Meta. Like, look at the top that we made. This was a 330 to the dot top, and that happened July 27th. And then it's been a series of lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and lower lows. A bit of a downward channel, if you like. Where do we find support? Well, we talked about 300 being an interesting support level. This is the half an hour on Meta, by the way. That's come and gone because now we are at 296.66, 296 and 2/3. But I would suggest that 292.50 looks scrumptious. The reason I say that is because look at the touches we have at that level, that 292, 290 level. Look at all the in that area. So this is a bit of a trough, right, on what we know was a big uptrend. I'm not showing you before. This goes all the way to July 10th, this chart. But look at this trough over here. This got bought up quite nicely. So this is an obvious level of support. Do we see 292, 290 level acting as a level of support when we get down there? 300 was just, well, it's 300, right? It's the whole dollar at the big level, but this actually has price action to support it. So interesting look when if Meta gets into those levels, how we trade. I'm gonna definitely have, let's go ahead and put a little notification around there for that level.
Here we go on X.
Go for it.
Into the 70s now, so 35 pennies in the money on this one off that reserve.
Woo!
My risk was only like 4 or 5 cents plus slippage, or 4 cents plus slippage, so that would probably be 6 or 7 on a liquid name like this. So probably should have punched about 10 times the size that I actually did, but you know, I don't know that I was that actually convicted on this one. But you know, you're really risking nothing on a trade like this, and gives you that 40 cents, pretty nice. I should probably take a little bit more profit there on 62s. There we go, get that. Let's see if we can get through that 70. Volume's actually heating up, so this is looking good. We'll see if we can get up to 32 again. That would be pretty good.
Who does that?
Larry David.
There
Curb
it
Your
is. Yeah,
Enthusiasm. You watch
Curb.
that?
I love Curb. Of course.
That is such.
Yeah.
That honestly, that's got to be one of the funniest shows of all time.
Well, I think he really wanted to actually have a show since he was George Costanza, but he never got credit for being George Costanza,
exactly,
right?
Exactly.
So yeah, and here we go. The
Here we go, baby.
NQ is getting some power here behind it. Nvidia popping. I'm looking at Microsoft popping, Amazon, a little bit of
Market
strength.
being led by industrials at this point, Sharif. U.S.
Interesting.
Steel. US Steel.
Yo, that was not a laugher before, bro. That was all the rave. U.S. Steel, like, used to be called, like, we're as big as U.S. Steel. Now, obviously, it's not, right? But good bounce here on the futures. 15,000 holding after that dip into 14,990. Nice balance into 15,030. Still a higher high, though. The higher high has to come vis-a-vis that 15,040 break. That hasn't come yet, but 13 points off that level. Yeah, it's kind of just interesting to watch. I'm going to probably just be hands off, but interesting look here. Definitely some strength coming in on the future, but still lower low, lower high. Nothing changes from a trend perspective. Let's see what the chat is up to. EBET on pace for 1 billion shares traded before 2:15 p.m. Hashtag penny stocks. Let's look at your friend EBET.
My God.
What's going on with X? What?
Not X. I just looked up EBET.
Oh, okay.
Less than 10 cents.
Yeah, well, penny stock. He put hashtag penny stock. We gotta, he caveated that.
The ones that are less than 10 cents, that's like a real,
It's like I don't even know how
penny
much shares to punch in. I gotta do math and stuff like that. Who wants that?
I can't
right?
do math.
That's why we're doing this, right? Right, no, but for real though, for real. It's a good look. It's a good look from 1 o'clock yesterday. It seems the volume really came in at 2 o'clock, pardon me, 155.2, and it's been a series of higher lows and higher highs. There's definitely an upward channel here to speak about. Good look for you on that. Now, I don't know anything about it. eBet, I'm willing to bet they're probably online gambling, and I'm right. Operates platforms to provide a real money online gambling experience focused on iGaming, including casino, sportsbook, and esports events. All right, what's the headline, you ask? Even nobody asked. Wednesday, despite a lack of company-specific news, or saying that there's no news on it. Oh? All right, well, here we go. So this is the headline. EBET, are you gonna load? There it is. eBet news are... eBet shares are skyrocketing higher Wednesday despite a lack of company-specific news. Does anybody know if there's options on this? Probably not.
Sharif, it got to 3 cents. That's all the news that you need. Penny stocks are going wild these days.
Yeah, dude, there's a guy, he's an older gentleman at my gym. Good dude, very intelligent dude. He's a fundamental investor. He's not a technical trader. And that's all he does. He tries to look for the micro, small cap stocks that are undervalued with positive balance sheets. He looks obviously at revenue to debt, cash flow. He's looking at all that stuff, and he puts his investments in them, and he sits and waits, right? I'm not seeing any unusual options volume. I have an options trader over here. I'm not going to bring it down, but nothing really to show me that Not a lot of open interest, quite frankly, on any of the levels, so I'm not really sure what to account for this. If you know, tag me, please. Bless you, Katina, man, on
market
EBET.
Is at that breakout spot
It
that we
is,
highlighted.
right there. Yep.
15,
Oh, baby, we're
040.
pumping.
Yeah, we're definitely pumping. Are you long anything?
I'm not long, I haven't taken any trades.
Yeah.
I have one loser on coin, that's it.
Apple is like looking like it wants to go for the high of day right now, even though the market's almost at the low of day.
Go Apple, go.
Yeah, that Microsoft trade would have been $1.50 in the money. And I'm sitting here on a buyout rumor.
Katina man's printing again, surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise. AMD at 108 now. Nice, nice. That is 5 cents of risk for $1 of reward on that one. That's pretty good.
Nicole
That's
Harris
pretty
saying
good.
the options are too pricey on that eBet stock. 250. Is that the premium? Let me know. 20 to 1 R to R, says the Katina man. We got that 15050 touch on the MNQ or the NQ. And then we're having a bit of resistance at that point. What's the IB? Yeah, so we are right at that IB, the imbalance range that Dan was talking about, because the low end of that range at 9:30, I always have to adjust for Chicago time, is right at that 15050. I'm pretty sure, Dan, fact check me on that. Is that correct? That's what I'm seeing on my chart here. So have a look at that. It costs $5, she says, Nicole Harris, with respect to EBET. Okay.
$5 for 100 shares. Is that how that works?
I'm not sure.
Be exposed
I've
to
never
100
bought
shares?
and sold options in my life. So Keon wants me to look at the VIX. Like I realize the VIX is probably going a little bit off at the moment and probably very high today because of the drop. Let's go to indexes because I have my VIX over here. We'll bring in the side chart. VIX, we'll go. I usually keep it on the daily just because I usually chart the VIX on the daily, but let's have a look at the 5 on the VIX. Yeah, we got up to double top here at 1665 and now right back down into that 16 and a quarter with current price action at 16 and a third. So the VIX, but look, you still haven't made a lower low. The lower low comes vis-a-vis that 1580. You haven't made the higher high because you have that 1665. So it's going to be an inside trade or a range trade, whatever you call it. Nothing for me at the moment. Hands off.
Hands off. Yeah, I got out of X, turned around. Didn't want to get through 80s for whatever reason, so bailed out on that one. If it comes back down into these 30s, we will try it again probably, or if it wants to hold the consolidation high at 3150, maybe, but I don't really like that. I feel like you have to risk that down to 30. So only trade on this one is if it comes into 30s. I also like the idea of it holding this 3110, 3105 price. But, you know, it seems like the opportunity at the moment is in this large cap bounce,
Free break above 15.
which once again
might take a long.
we've missed. We missed everything today.
Well, I just think